Carl Nichols plays shortstop and batting sixth. Ryan Burkhalter is the third baseman, and he'll be the number 7 batter. Matt East is the second baseman, like that name. He'll be batting eighth. And Shea Treadway, who is a nephew of Jeff Treadway, former Atlanta Brave, Cleveland Indian, Cincinnati Red, etc., will be in right field, rounding out the order.
And your Rams line up defensively like this. Stephen Hires at first. Ryan Moon at second. Matt Easterday the shortstop. Doyle Bakers at third. Around the outfield, Bryce Avery, Jarvis Johnson, and Richie Cleary. Luke Allen on the mound here is his first pitch. Outside, ball 1. Chris Middlebrooks is behind the plate, and Luke Allen getting his first start of the season for the Rams. Allen working quickly, brings the 1-0. Breaking ball in there for a called strike. That evens the count at 1-1 on the hitter Lynn Dunn, center fielder for the Bears. Allen brings the 1-1. Another breaking ball. This one does not get in. 2-1 the count. It's going to be real hard to get that curveball to snap off against that wind.
And by the same token, when he was warming up, a lot of those pitches that he was trying to throw were sailing on him, so he may have a little trouble here in the first.
Strike, and a beauty, a fastball. Caught the outside corner at the knees. Dunn shortened up as if to bunt and took a called strike. And here comes the next one from Luke. Just a little bit low.
When you're trying to warm up in weather like this, especially if you're in the position of Luke Allen, having warmed up probably 45 minutes ago, you're going to have a little tough time getting warm, and even the warm-up tosses that they give you may not be enough, and all of a sudden, now the last 2 pitches, we've seen him start to straighten out a little bit.
And ball 4 just misses just off the inside corner of the plate as Allen got real close. I thought that pitch could have gone either way, but he didn't get the call, so the leadoff hitter now on first with nobody down. And that brings Neil Davis, the left fielder, to the plate. Rams up 1-0 as they scored a run on a ground out by Stephen Hires. And Luke with a quick throw over to first. Hires applies the tag, but back in time is Lynn Dunn.
One important factor here for Luke Allen, what we've seen at least to Lynn Dunn, keeping the ball down. That's going to be very crucial with the wind blowing out today.
Here's the pitch, and that ball is skied to left field. Bryce Avery on his horse comes in, and he squeezed it for the out, quickly getting the ball back in. So 1 pitch and 1 out to Neil Davis, and that's going to bring Craig Reynolds, they're saying now, to the plate. PA announcing we had him as John, but they said Craig, so maybe he goes by his middle name or something.
I thought Craig Reynolds played for the Houston Astros in the 80s.
Sounds familiar, but Allen snap throw to first. Oh, and the fans hoot and holler on the Newton side as they thought Luke Allen had him picked off. Stephen Hires looking pretty adept with the glove over there as he made a quick tag.
Nice job on the low throw there from Allen.
Another one, and just back in time. Oh, they call him out. He went in standing up and evidently got his feet crossed, and Stephen Hires applied the tag on the inside of his right leg and called him out. So the base on balls is erased by the pickoff. Mark that in your book. 1-3, call it an out stealing.
Crucial thing there for the Rams, too, here in the first after picking up a run. You want to try to start off by retiring the other side without a run. That helps.
And here's the first pitch, fouled right back by us, and Luke gets ahead in the count, 1-0 on Mr. Reynolds.
You know, Bill, I think that Griffin has a lot of the major league connection here. They've got Craig Reynolds, and they've got the nephew of Jeff Treadway out there. Have to wonder about it. Treadway, of course, grew up in the Griffin area and went on to start with the Cincinnati Reds. Had some great years with the Braves as well, as we mentioned.
0-1, a breaking ball and a beauty as it snapped across the outside corner. He's now ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes on Craig Reynolds. Luke Allen looking rather sharp early on after getting away after the first batter walked. Here's the 0-2. Blowing away as he cut it off the plate. A pretty good pitch there, purpose pitch with ahead 2 strikes in the count. You don't want to groove one right then.
Not only that, the last curveball was off the outside corner and curved back into it, so he threw a fastball that way, or an off-speed that way.
And there's a line drive, and that's going to fall in for a base hit just over Doyle Baker's head into left field. Bryce Avery up and gets it back in quickly. Not hit hard, but got it up just enough in the air where it got over Doyle's head.
He hit them where they aimed, and that's the first hit of the game for either side.
There are 2 outs here, though, for the Griffin Bears as they bat in the bottom of the first inning.
Catcher number 11, Culverson.
And that's going to bring the catcher, Jay Culverson, up to the plate. Jay looks like a pretty good-sized fellow. If he gets a hold of one, he looks like he could probably give it a run.
People here in Henry County will remember this last name, Culverson. Dow Culverson was a standout here at Henry County High School for several years, and actually came up and played with a lot of the Newton County players on the post-77 or post-32 Legion team.
77, I think, is kind of.
That's right. Got my numbers crossed there.
All right. Culverson stands up to the plate. Allen brings the first one. It's a curveball and a beauty for a called strike as he caught the knees on the inside corner.
Luke Allen's delivery is about a three-quarters delivery, so as a right-handed batter, he's not quite like a sidearmer, but you have to watch sometimes. It can unsettle you, especially with a man who throws that hard.
Checks Reynolds and brings it home. And a little bit outside as Culverson shortened up the bunt. Looked like he offered at it, but no call from the umpire there. That evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
And I like what Middlebrooks did on that play. Immediately after catching it, he was springing toward first base.
First throw to first, and just diving back in time is Craig Reynolds.
Sorry about that, Bill. The instincts, though, from Middlebrooks, you can tell that he watched Brian Moon very well. Brian Moon, out at Southern Union, may only be there this year.
Here's the pitch, and that ball's fouled off. And Allen ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's what Coach Brassfield, when we talked to him on the bus ride over here, said his coach was saying. Having a good early season down there at Southern Union.
He would be there only this year, the reason being might get drafted at the end of this year.
Or perhaps signed by the team that drafted him last year. They still have that. They have that option to sign him up until the draft, I think.
Right, about a week before. The Houston Astros are the team that took Brian Moon. They wouldn't do wrong with that young man. He's a tremendous catcher with a lot of skill.
Another throw to first by Allen, and this one down in the dirt. Stephen Hires did a good job of digging it out, and then promptly threw it over Luke's head, but Doyle Baker alertly backing the play up kept the runner from advancing.
You have to learn not to give these players big heads early in the year. Things like that happen.
Overson the hitter. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball just a little bit low. I think Luke wanted that call. 2-2 the count now.
Allen gave kind of a long look in after missing the call on that.
2 outs. Runner at first. Here's the pitch. And there's a chopper down to Stephen Hires at first. He'll make the play himself, and that'll do it for the Bears in the bottom of the first inning. They scored no runs. They did have 1 hit. There were no Ram errors, and there was 1 runner left on base. We head now to the top of the second with your score. Newton 1, Griffin nothing. You're listening to Newton Ram Baseball on your local leader, WGFS, AM 1430, and that is made possible by those fine folks at East Metro Communications.
Bulldog Tire Company is your complete car care center. They take off tires, wheels, have wheel alignment, tune-ups, brake service, road and farm service, radiator repair, wrecker service, and much, much more. That's Bulldog Tire Company. Talk to owner Tommy Coker at 787-6030, 787-6030. Bulldog Tire Company, 4108 Elm Street in Covington. Bulldog Tire Company.
When trees let go of their leaves, did your lawn get buried? Well, Toro Wheel Horsepower can help you find it. Not only does Toro Wheel Horsepower rake for you, but Wheel Horsepower makes all of your fall chores easier. Stop by Coast to Coast and see the new Toro Wheel Horse tractors and fall attachments today. Your local Coast to Coast is located on the square in downtown Covington.
Back space from the bleachers at Henry County High School, where the wind is making the temperatures mighty cold, but certainly we don't think the Rams bats will be that cold. And here to tell you the details about that, Bill Dolan.
Thank you very much, Kevin Holden, as we bring you Ram baseball on a day set more suitable for football, perhaps. But the Rams will send up Richie Cleary to lead it off. He'll be followed by Ryan Moon, and then Doyle Baker here in the top of the second inning.
And we had to wait for a moment there for Coach Don Shepard to get down to his position at first base. Now, if his wheels are any indication as he was headed down there, we might be in for an adventure or two.
It would be interesting to see the first ball that travels down. We mentioned Chris Middlebrooks' home run last year. That was an important home run because it was a wing-ding inning winner, the only one of the season. That won some lucky person 60 hot wing. Here's the first pitch to Richie. Swing, and he fouled it back off the backstop. In fact, it stayed in the backstop.
That one is stuck. There are 2 bars here at the backstop that are right up at the top, very close to one another. In fact, there's enough space between them, just enough for a baseball to fit, and Richie put it right in there. You could not have walked up and placed it in there any better than he did.
Richie asks for time and steps out of the box. Richie with 2 home runs already in 3 games. And mentioned that he hit another pitch, a curveball, drilled for a double, and Richie appears to be a little smarter hitter this year. And down low for a ball as it bounced up there. Matt Gaston having a little bit of control problems. If the Rams can sit back and wait, they should get some pitches to hit if they quit chasing these ones out of the strike zone.
2 important things for Cleary that are making him a better hitter. One, he's going to the off-field much better, right-handed batter going to right. The other, hitting the curveball much better. And if he's disciplined and gets ahead in the count, he'll see a fastball, and you'll see his eyes light up.
Here's the pitch. Outside. Richie laying off. And he's ahead in the count now, 2 balls and 1 strike.
He has been around long enough and tortured enough opponents that they know not to bring the fastball up and in, especially into the wheelhouse. But when a pitcher gets behind, he may not have a choice.
And a called strike as Gaston found the outside corner at the waist. That evens the count now at 2-2 in the top of the 2nd inning. Richie appears to be standing up just a little farther in the batter's box, too, and that may be helping him see that curveball a little better. Here's the pitch. Oh, and he went fishing, that one down low in the dirt. The catcher drops the ball, but picks it up and tags Richie for out number 1.
That's actually a very good pitch from Matt Gaston. That pitch at the knees, inside, a fastball on 2-2, and I have a feeling Richie wasn't expecting it. You know, Gaston hasn't had the greatest control over the first 2 innings, and I have a feeling he was caught off guard by that.
And Ryan Moon steps up. He's second baseman. Readies, and here's the pitch. Swing, and that ball's drilled down the right field line. Curving, foul, and out of play. The right fielder, Shea Treadway, ran a long way and slid into the fence trying to get it, but was unable to come up with it.
Yeah, credit Treadway with a tremendous effort there. Unfortunately, for a second, he caught his cleat in the fence and kind of threw a scare into a few people, but he's fine.
As Ryan Moon made a bid for a double down the right field line, got underneath it a little bit, almost was retired as Shea Treadway with some great hustle going after the ball.
One of the things you're going to see today that are going to be an adventure are any type of high pop flies with the wind blowing this way.
0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. And it's a little bit low and inside as Ryan Moon stands to the plate with 1 out here in the top of the 2nd inning. Ryan had 3 hits in the season opener and had a couple more hits yesterday from what I understand, so he's off to a good start this year. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Way high and out of Jay Culverson's glove back to the backstop.
I would expect to see a better offensive year out of Ryan Moon this year for 2 reasons. Of course, he's up another year in class, and the difference between your sophomore and junior year developmentally and mentally is a big adjustment. The other thing is, this is his first full year. He was kind of thrown into duty with the varsity last year and hit 227.
And all 3 sails way high off from Matt Gaston. And Ryan Moon with the hitter's count now, 3-1. Gaston working quickly, brings a 3-1, and inside, and another free pass for the Newton Rams.
Gaston has already walked 3 in this game, Bill, and if the Rams continue to be disciplined, they're going to force him to disrupt his game to do one of 2 things. He's either going to try to start throwing the ball over the plate at a slower speed or just try to overthrow. Either way, the Rams come out and get an advantage that way.
And once again, I would not be surprised to see the Rams do a little running here. Moon with a lead. Doyle Baker to the plate. And the first pitch is a called strike at the knees on the outside corner. I say the knees. It was somewhere in that vicinity.
Saying the old neighborhood call? Is that what you're telling?
Perhaps. 0-1 the count now. Matt Gaston working for the Griffin Bears. Ryan Moon gets the lead at first. He's back, diving quickly as throw down in the dirt. Good dig by Craig Reynolds. I think they've decided they're going to call him, right? First baseman for the Bears. Doyle Baker, Jr., swings and hits a shot deep in the hole, shortstop. Long throw. He did not get him. So give a base hit to Doyle Baker. That ball hit deep in the hole. Carl Nichols came up with it, made a long throw, but Doyle Baker hustling right out of the box, beat it out. So the Rams with something going.
Nichols goes to his right very well, and the Griffin shortstop handled that ball in an extremely good fashion. The only thing is, under situations like that, you have to be Ozzie Smith to get a guy going to first base. Doyle Baker's got enough speed where he can beat those out.
Plus, he's throwing dead against a 30-mile-an-hour wind, so even a perfect throw wasn't enough to get Doyle. And that brings Jarvis Johnson to the plate. He takes the first pitch for a strike called on the outside corner.
last year. In fact, I don't have him down for a single plate appearance last year. He had one 2 years ago, though, as a freshman, oddly enough.
Here's the 0-1 to Jarvis. High and outside, and that evens the count at 1-1. Jarvis starting in center field today because Luke Allen is on the mound. He also had to start in the opener as Luke was nursing a tender ankle. 1-1 the count. 1 out. On the belt. Runners are going, and it's a bunt, and it's a beauty. They may not even get him at first. He is safe. What an excellent call by Coach Joe Bradsfield. Had all the runners going, and actually a bad play by Matt Gaston there, Kevin.
Yeah, what happened with Gaston is, as a right-handed thrower, you tend to fall off toward first base, and this is what happened. But he took a step or two toward first base, and Jarvis Johnson laid a beautiful bunt. I guess perhaps Gaston was thinking Johnson would try to drag it up the first baseline. That's not the case. By the way, notice on the 0-1 pitch there, Gaston's pitch was high and outside, and Culverson came up ready to throw. I wonder if Griffin knew that Newton had a play on. Despite the fact that they knew it, the Rams were successful with it.
And Bryce Avery up to the plate takes one about 3 feet high and outside as Matt Gaston showing a little frustration overthrowing there.
Well, they've done exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to get him out of his game, and now they have him overthrowing.
1-0 the count to Avery. Bryce, a strikeout victim his first time. Here's the next one. And once again, he swings at a pitch well out of the strike zone. And I don't believe that Matt Gaston has thrown Bryce a strike yet.
He has not. He's thrown him 8 pitches. All 8 of them have been outside the strike zone. Unfortunately, Avery has swung and missed at 4 of them.
1-1 the count now. Still only 1 out here. Here's the pitch. Outside, 2-1.
One thing for Avery, and this may be because it's early in the year, but you'll notice he takes a ferocious cut, and almost to the point where perhaps he's pulling his head out just a little bit. And when that's the case, the pitches that you see the best are the ones closest up to your eyes. They're also the toughest to hit.
Swing and foul back, and that ball's going to be out of play over on the hillside in behind us. And Avery now behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Here's a crucial pitch here from Matt Gaston and the Griffin Bears for a couple of reasons. Of course, the bases are loaded. If he does not throw a strike here, he risks running it full. One more ball would bring in a run via the walk, and that's a demoralizing thing. And with 2, 3, and 4 coming up, that's the last thing you want to do.
Avery looks for one to hit. Here's a pitch. And he is called out on strikes on a fastball that inside corner at the knees. Bryce not happy with the call. He jumped back and appeared to think it was well inside and down. And he's talking to some of his teammates about it. Chris Middlebrook's having something to say to him. Tough call.
Now, Bryce Avery stands up close to the plate anyway, but he backed off a good 6 inches away from that pitch. But called strike 3, and so it'll be up to Easterday to do some damage.
Key point in the game, if you will, already in the second inning. Matt Easterday, one of the team leaders on this team, could really hurt the Bears here. A little more disciplined hitter than Avery. He's ahead in the count now, 1 ball and no strike. And here's the pitch. Swing, and that ball right off the third baseman. And the runner is out at third as he just did pick the ball up and tag third base. It looked for a minute like Doyle might have gotten in there ahead of the ball, but he was forced on the play. And that's going to do it for the Rams. They had a big opportunity, but came up empty in the top of the second. We go to the bottom of the second now. The Rams still on top, 1-0. This is Newton Ram Baseball on WGFS, AM 1430, and it's only made possible due to the people at East Metro Communication.
At Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, we've got you covered. With vinyl, wallpaper, carpet, wood, parquet, VCT tile, interior design service, carpet cleaning service, and blinds. They're the largest and most complete carpet store serving Newton, Rockdale, and Morgan counties, Lake Oconee, and surrounding areas. They specialize in residential and commercial flooring. Their professional carpet consultants and interior designer will bring samples to your home, take measurements, and quote you a price all in one visit. Call them, Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, 786-9245, 786-9245, or in Madison, 342-3869, 342-3869. Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies.
All action at Craig Lunsford Stadium at Henry County High School in McDonald. This is part of the 1996 South Metro Tournament. Can the Rams win their 5th straight South Metro Tournament championship? They're up 1-0 here as we go to the bottom of the second, and Bill Dolan will try to help help the Rams shut down the Bears.
Thank you, Kevin Holden. And the DH for the Bears of Griffin, John Dinkins, steps to the plate. And I can see perhaps why he is a DH. That's a huge individual stepping up to the plate. Luke better be careful with him. He doesn't want to put one into the wheelhouse.
He's got a height advantage, and he's got enough bulk on him that, especially being a right-handed batter, got to watch the high fastball.
Breaking ball and a beauty. Really had him off stride with that pitch as he weakly fouled it back to the screen. Luke in front. One strike, no ball.
It looked almost like a straight change, and it was thrown right in the right spot. If you've ever watched Jack Morris throw the straight changeup, he'll throw it either just high enough or just low enough to where the batter can't get around on it.
Allen working quickly. Wheels and deals. Fastball. Strike 2 called. I was going to say, Luke throwing a lot of off-speed stuff, but then he came right back with the fastball. We normally see him throw more fastballs, but he's looking fairly sharp so far.
Like the location, too, keeping the ball down with the fastball.
0-2 the count. Here it comes. Just a little bit low and outside. Trickling away from Chris Middlebrook. Pretty good pitch with 2 strikes. Not that far off the plate where Dinkins might not go fishing for it, but he did. Here's the 1-2. Down low and away. Middlebrook's a good job of blocking the ball.
Again, not bad location for a pitch. It's outside and low, just off the plate, so he may or may not fish for it, but if he does do something with it, it certainly isn't going to leave the yard.
1-2 the pitch, and see you later. Luke Allen with a fastball at the knees on the outside corner. Dinkins moaning a little bit to the home plate umpire, but the home plate umpire has given that call several times already today, so it looks like he's going to give that call, Kevin.
We've got a pitcher's umpire here. He's going to give you a couple of inches, especially high, and it appears inside as well. That's going to help out both teams. Probably keep the game a little lower scoring.
And that brings Carl Nichols to the plate. He shortened up just a bunt and took a ball down low. Rams lead at 1-0. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Luke Allen working for the Rams. On the wind, here's the pitch. Breaking ball that doesn't quite snap, and he's quickly behind in the count. Now 2 balls and no strikes.
Next Ram action will be a week from today. The Rams have a full week off, and they'll be back here at 5:30 next Saturday, right back here at Henry County High School, more of the South Metro tournament.
Here's the 2-0, and it's a beauty. Fastball, outside corner, about 5 level. He gets right back in the count now. 2 balls and 1 strike. Middlebrooks with the sign. Allen working quickly. Brings it home. Breaking ball. Just a little bit low as it dropped off the table. Luke behind in the count now. 3 balls and 1 strike. With 1 out here in second inning. Here's the pitch. Strike with a fastball outside corner. And didn't think it was a strike. It's heading down to first base. Better protect the plate.
And Nichols violated one of the cardinal rules. Don't take a step toward first on a pitch like that.
And here's the next one, and that is down low, and that'll be a ball. So Luke Allen walking another hitter. That's the second free pass he's given up in the game. But he's not missing by much. He's really close and doesn't appear to be overthrowing or anything.
Another encouraging sign is he's keeping the ball around the corners at the lower half of the plate. And for Luke Allen, a person who had a little trouble with control at certain times last year, as long as he keeps the ball down, I think he'll be successful.
Ryan Burkhalter, the hitter. Wales tries to bunt, misses, and he falls behind. 1 strike and no balls.
Allen has gone with a tremendously higher number of off-speed pitches than we're used to seeing him throw. Perhaps he's becoming a little bit more of a pitcher. And I know last year he liked to come at you, especially in the closer's role with the fastball, the majority of the time. But it looks like he's a little more of a pitcher than a thrower this year.
Quick throw to first and the runner back in time. Allen brings it home, and just a little bit high. Chris Middlebrooks poised there to throw down to first via Brian Moon of last year. Moondog picked a couple of them off that way last year.
Tremendous pickoff move. A catcher with a probably higher number of pickoffs than most pitchers.
1-1 the count. Here's the pitch, and it's a strike called. Fastball outside corner of the knees. Allen really spotting the fastball well, working it around with the breaking ball and the off-speed pitch. His fastballs have thrown most of them for strikes. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Ball outside. Runner going through, and he is safe as Middlebrooks just a little bit high with the throw. The throw beat the runner, but Ryan Moon had to climb the ladder to get in. By the time he came down, he was unable to apply the tag. So credit a stolen base to Carl Nichols. The count now 2-2.
Middlebrooks did a tremendous job responding from a bad pitch, having to reach almost behind his body to catch it. Still made a throw to second, a strong one. Only trouble was it was high. Otherwise, they might have had the runner.
2-2 the count. Here's the pitch, and there's a chopper down to Stephen Hires. He boots it, picks it up, throws, and Luke Allen got over in time, covering first base, and that'll be the second out of the inning.
3-1 in your scorebook. I've got that exactly backwards here. 3-1 as the first baseman, Stephen Hires, for a moment bobbled it, but as you mentioned, picked it up and did a nice job. And Luke Allen did a good job, too. He was kind of lost for the first base bag, but reached it just at the right moment.
And that brings the second baseman, Matt East, to the plate. Don't really look for him to take the ball deep, do you, Kevin?
He is diminutive.
Kind of what you would expect from a second baseman, I guess.
Yes, very much so.
Not quite as big as the ex-Braves second baseman, Glenn Hubbard, who played so many successful years with the Braves. 1-0, and the next one, a strike called.
So the best part about baseball, as opposed to other sports, is someone like that is called scrappy, and it's a good thing, you see. Where in other sports, they probably wouldn't be able to play.
1-1 the count. Allen brings it home, and it's ball just inside. Rams hooting and hollering a little bit. That looked like it had a little bit of inside corner to me, Kevin Holden.
Yeah, in fact, the umpire looked like he was going to call it a strike for a moment. Raised the arm.
Foul down towards the Griffin dugout, and that evens the count at 2-2.
Watching Luke Allen here in his first couple innings of work, one of the main reasons why he's a little more successful here is not overthrowing. His mechanics look a little better, and sometimes when you're wanting to throw the fastball as hard as possible, you'll have a tendency to overextend. He's still coming at the batter with the same pitching motion. He's just a little more under control, and while it may take a mile or two off your fastball, it gives you immense control and helps out tremendously.
Going to the count. Here's the pitch, and there's a chopper down towards Stephen Hires at first. He'll take and toss to Luke Allen, and out at first on the play as they work that play to perfection that time. And the Bears of Griffin failed to score here in the bottom of the second inning. They had no runs, no hits. There were no Ram errors. They did leave one runner left on base. We head now to the top of the third inning. Newton still on top, 1-0. You are listening to Newton Ram Baseball right here on WGFS AM 1430. We want to thank the fine folks at East Metro Communications who are making this possible.
The best money manager around is a checking account from the Bank of Covington. It's easy to keep track of your income and all your expenses with your checkbook and the detailed monthly statements we send you. It lets you see where you might save money, and it really helps in balancing your budget. If you're not already enjoying such financial assistance, learn all the advantages of a personal checking account at one of the convenient Bank of Covington locations. The Bank of Covington, member FDIC.
Snapper announces its Great Price Fall, a national savings event that offers you a chance to bag a great deal. Coast to Coast Home and Auto is now offering cash discounts, half-off accessories, and free financing on all Snapper Walkmores, riders, and tractors. A new Snapper with a half-price bag or Ninja Kit is the easy way to handle fall leaves. And with approved SNAP credit, you don't have to pay a cent until April. Interest-free. Ask your dealer for all the details. Act now. Get down to Coast Home and Auto and get in on Snapper's Great Price Fall before it's too late.
And welcome back to Craig Lunsford Field. That's the advantage. The disadvantage, kind of cold. Bill Dolan brings you the third inning with the Rams on top, 1-0.
Thank you, Kevin Holden. And Stephen Hires steps to the plate. What did he do his first time up there?
RBI ground out to shortstop. It scored Easterday, who had advanced on 2 straight wild pitches.
Here's the 1-0 upstairs for a ball again. Stephen showing good discipline at the plate, laying off that high heater.
Very important for a number 3 hitter. You can't be just swinging wildly if you're batting in that 3 spot.
2-0, and must have been a little bit inside there because it wasn't quite the height, but even up 3-0 in the count. I think you'll probably see the old automatic here. 3-0, Gaston brings it. Strike called as he chopped down from the side on 3-0.
He did it. Oddly enough, it was the one strike he had thrown out of the 4 pitches.
3-1. Stephen Hires looking for something to hit. This is the hitter's count. Here it comes. Down low and in the dirt. And Stephen Hires with another free pass. for the Rams. That's about 4 for them, I believe, isn't it?
It is. It's 4 for the Griffin Bears and a leadoff walk to the Rams. That's the first time that their leadoff man has reached base in this game. Luke Allen walked the first batter of this game, and the second batter of the second inning. Those are his 2 walks. He has 1 strikeout to his credit, and perhaps a little more to his credit as he comes to the plate here.
Luke, his last at bat, walked, and the first pitch to him is low and away, ball 1. Stephen Hires, his first at bat, did get credit for the RBI that gave the Rams the lead. He put the ball in play, getting it into the hole, and the Bears were playing deep. So kind of an important thing, just getting the ball in play and not a pop-up. 1-0 to Allen. Here it comes. Swing, and a foul back as Luke had a good cut at a high fastball.
Yeah, Gaston dropped down so far that time that the ball was kind of rising as it was reaching home plate. I know that physicists say that that's impossible, but if you've ever tried to hit something like that, you know it's possible, and Luke actually did a good job of fighting that pitch off.
Kind of dangerous sometimes dropping from the side to a lefty. You tend to throw it right into their wheelhouse sometimes.
Yeah, you'll drop it, start it at the knees, and bring it up to the waist.
Pickoff throw over to first base, and Stephen Hires back in time.
And I know that there are some left-handed and some right-handed batters who'd love to turn on a couple of waist-high fastballs.
Oh, yes. Gaston does not have a great move to first. Here's the pitch. The runner is going. Called strike. The throw. Terrible into center field. But Junior not able to advance. Credit Stephen Hires with a stolen base there as he was going on the play. The catcher, Jake Culverson, threw the ball probably 10 feet to the left side of the base into left center field. The center fielder did a good job of backing up. For the Bears, and the Rams left 1 runner on base. We head now to the bottom of the 3rd with your score, Newton 2 and Griffin nothing. Newton Ram baseball right here on WGFS AM 1430, made possible by East Metro Communications.
If you're age 60 or better, Newton Federal has created benefits especially for you. Our Now Interest checking account pays current market interest on your entire checking balance, not just part of it, if you maintain a $100 balance. And we offer it to our 60-plus customers with no minimum balance requirements and no monthly maintenance fees. Talk with us today at Newton Federal Savings and Loan, FDIC insured. After all, you deserve the best.
Bulldog Tire Company is your complete car care center. They take off tires, wheels, have wheel alignment, tune-ups, brake service, road and farm service, radiator repair, wrecker service, and much, much more. That's Bulldog Tire Company. Talk to owner Tommy Coker at 787-6030, 787-6030. Bulldog Tire Company, 4108 Elm Street in Covington. Bulldog Tire Company.
Lunsford, Henry County High School, bottom of the 3rd with the Rams up 2. Here's Bill Dolan with your play-by-play.
And the first batter bunts down the third baseline. It rolls foul, and Doyle Baker keeps it foul.
First pitch there, Shea Treadway trying to get things started here for Griffin. They haven't scored yet. In fact, they have only 1 base hit in this game, and Treadway was trying to start things out in a good way by bunting. The one mistake he made was bunting a pitch that was 6 inches up high out of the strike zone. It hurt him as he had trouble bunting it fair. Credit Doyle Baker also. The second that ball went foul, he picked it up.
Actually, it was an excellent bunt. It just did trickle foul, fortunately, for the Rams. 0-1 is a breaking ball up high, and that evens the count now at 1 ball and 1 strike on Shea Treadway, right fielder for the Bears. Allen brings it home, and there's a strike and a beauty. There's that fastball on that outside corner about knee high as he spots it well once again.
Treadway a .390 hitter last year, but batting in the 9 spot on the batting order, and we understand that he struck out 3 times in the Bears' first game of the year.
Allen's a little bit low with the next offering, and that makes the count of 2 balls and 1 strike.
Treadway does not have the build of a 9-hitter, Bill Dolan.
No, he really doesn't, and hitting .390 usually doesn't warrant putting you in the 9-hole. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul tip, and that's a strikeout as Chris Middlebrook's doing a fine job, held on to it, and that's the second strikeout for Luke Allen.
The next time Treadway comes up, he can expect a steady diet of high fastballs from Luke Allen because that's the pitch that he bunted here. The swing at strike 3 was at a pitch almost shoulder high.
And now we're back around to the top of the batting order, and Lynn Dunn, the center fielder for the Bears of Griffin. Rams making some moves in the outfield. Luke Allen waving Jarvis Johnson over a little bit towards left center. tries to bunt and comes up empty. Bears evidently feel like they're having trouble hitting now, and they're trying to reach. I've never seen so many players on a team try to bunt.
Especially here in a down 2 runs in the 3rd inning of a game. They're trying early to get some offense started.
There's a chopper up the middle. Ryan Moon over to the right. Long throw, and he is out. And hopefully Stephen Hires is okay, as Lynn Dunn lying right over his feet down there. They got entangled. He appears to be limping just a little bit, but he's shaking it off. You always shake it off. It didn't hurt, right?
Right, of course. While the folks are looking on, it doesn't hurt a bit. Now, in your mind, it could be screaming with pain, but you don't show it on the surface, and neither Dunn nor Hires are showing any pain. Really, it was kind of a minor thing. Probably hurt Dunn more than it hurt Hires, because Dunn almost went face first into the dirt.
Swing, and a good pitch by Luke Allen as he threw that fastball outside corner at the knees to the left-handed hitter, Neil Davis. Allen working very quickly, wheels and deals. Another fastball, same location, and Davis doesn't go after this one. 0-2 the count. And Luke's in his groove now as he's working quickly. He's got the sign from Middlebrooks. Here comes the 0-2. See you later, the breaking ball, outside corner, strikeout number 3 for Luke Allen. And the Bears, for the first time in the game, are retired in order. 3 up, 3 down. We head now to the top of the 4th inning with your score. Newton 2, Griffin nothing, a low-scoring game, still a lot on the line. This is Newton Ram Baseball on WGFS AM 1430, and we want to thank the fine folks at East Metro Communications for making it all possible.
Stay tuned throughout the 1996 baseball season as WGFS brings you coverage of the Atlanta Braves. Join us as the Braves try to capture their 2nd consecutive World Series championship. Atlanta Braves on WGFS, brought to you by the Farm and Garden Depot, Snapping Shoals, Norwest Financial, Rhodes Printing, and Cotton State Insurance. Don't miss the Atlanta Braves 1996 right here on WGFS AM 1430.
What's the crowd favorite at parties any time of the year? Why, it's hot wings from the Hard Luck Cafe. With flavors ranging from extra mild to TNT, they can placate any palate. There are 3 convenient locations to serve you, one in Madison, one in Conyers, and the original Little Red Building in Covington. So stop by for the best hot wings around, or call ahead so your order will be ready when you get there. In Covington, the number is 787-0421. That's 787-0421.
To have baseball back, ladies and gentlemen. Only thing is the weather isn't cooperating with us. We're at Henry County High School with Craig Lunsford Field. Kind of cold, kind of windy. Everybody that's possible is bundled up. Bill Dolan is one of those folks as we bring it to you live from the outside bleachers at Henry County High School. The 4th inning. Bill Dolan, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin Holden. And Doyle Baker leads it off for the Rams here in the top of the 4th inning. Doyle had a single his first at-bat, and he readies. Here's the pitch, and there's a called strike. That last commercial, that's 787-0421, the Hard Luck Cafe wing ding inning. We need to tell the folks about that in just a minute, Kevin.
Yeah, I think we should, as a matter of fact. They can win a lot of hot wings from the Hard Luck Cafe. In fact, here's a good time as the Baker calls time.
What you need to do is send in a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to WGFS Radio, the Hard Luck Cafe wing ding inning, and you'll be eligible to win hot wings through all Newton Ram broadcasts.
We're at P.O. Box 869, Covington, Georgia, 30210, and we'll be drawing names during a particular inning, and for each batter we'll draw a name. If the batter hits a homer, you will be chowing on some bird.
0-2 to Baker. The next one just a little bit low, 1-2. It'll start next Saturday, the first game. If you win that game, it'll be 40 pieces of hot wings. For every game that there's not a home run, it will increase by 10 up to 100, and a grand slam will be 100 at all times. Baker with a drive to right center field. Center fielder over and squeezes it. Doyle got a hold of it, but the wind really held it up, and Lynn Dunn just kind of parked after running hard for it, and it just kind of stopped as the wind held it up, Kevin.
Yeah, Baker swung at a pitch about chest high, going up on it, hitting it toward right field. I think on a normal day you might have seen a different result there, but that thing stayed up for an hour and a half as the center fielder got under it.
That's going to bring Jarvis Johnson to the dish here as we play ball in the top of the 4th inning. Here's the first pitch to Jarvis, and there's a shot like a bullet into right field for Jarvis, and that's a clean base hit, his second of the day.
Jarvis Johnson looks sharp. In fact, he has 2 of the Rams' 3 hits. The Rams in the 8 and 9 spots have been producing the base hits, but they've been top of the order, oddly enough, but Jarvis Johnson took a pitch at the letter level and absolutely tattooed it to right field. If you see more of that from Jarvis Johnson, I wouldn't be shocked if you see him batting higher than ninth later the year.
And Bryce Avery, the leadoff hitter, steps to the plate, and Bryce not too successful so far. 2 at-bats and 2 Ks in the book, meaning they strike out. Facing some bad pitches, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're opposable strikeouts, one swinging and one looking.
Johnson with a big lead. First pitch down in the dirt, and he scampers back to first.
One thing you like out of your leadoff hitter, of course, is the ability to take a lot of pitches. Avery has seen very few strikes in his 2 at-bats. He sees a ball here for his first pitch in this one. I think he's been swinging at some pitches out of the strike zone, but you can definitely tell that when he makes contact, he's going to make it go a long way.
Jarvis Johnson with a big lead at first. Here's the 1-0 to Avery. It's down low in the dirt and back to the backstop, and Jarvis Johnson scampers down to second on the wild pitch.
Third wild pitch called against the Griffin Bears. The first 2 came back-to-back on consecutive pitches that those led to a run in the first inning by the Rams, so perhaps they can take advantage once again here. And you like your chances with a speedy guy at second base and Avery, Easterday, and Hires coming up.
Hopefully Avery can lay off some of these bad pitches, and maybe we can get a real big inning going here. He's ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes, 1 out in the top of the 4th. Here's the pitch. And he lays off a high outside pitch to go up 3-0 in the count.
Bill, you would normally take in this situation. It's even more likely, I would think, that Avery would take here, given that Gaston hasn't thrown in that many strikes and knows he'll swing at pitches out of the strike zone. I wouldn't dare take the bat off my shoulder.
And he doesn't. Takes ball 4. So the Rams now with 2 runners on and a lot of speed on the base pass and speed at the plate as Matt Easterday walks up to the dish.
And we both know that Joe Brassfield is not one to sit back and just take things in. He's very aggressive in terms of the plays that he likes to call. So with first and second and 1 out, with your number 2 man up, a good contact hitter, don't be surprised if you see a little trickery out of the Rams here.
Both runners lead away. Johnson from second, Avery from first. Yesterday up to the plate, and time is called. Matt reached on a fielder's choice his last time and walked his first time up to the plate. So
nice job of reading my writing.
He's 0 for 1 on the day. And here we go again. The runners lead away. Johnson with a big lead at second. Here's the pitch to Easterday. High and away, ball 1. I'll tell you, Kevin, as much as he's struggling with his control here, you'd almost like to see a straight steal. Because he really let up on that pitch to Easterday, and he may try to come in with something off speed or a breaking ball trying to get him over the plate. 1-0. They're going. Here's the pitch. Popped up to right field. Right fielder underneath it. Runners hurrying back, and they get back in time as Jay Treadway got underneath a towering fly ball hit by Matt Easterday.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a hit and run with the double steal involved there. Kind of an unusual play. Easterday did go after a high pitch and popped it straight up in the air. And Bryce Avery, about 2/3 of the way to second base, realized the ball was up in the air, stopped and slid, literally, because he tried to stop himself and went down to his knees as he was sliding. But he got back in time. Just kind of comical for the Ram left fielder.
It's a good thing the ball was hit as high as it was to allow him to get back. That looked more like a run and hit instead of a hit and run.
I like that play a little better than the hit and run. You have a better chance of stealing the base if the batter misses the pitch.
Even higher steps to the plate. And Matt Gaston steps off the rubber.
With a hit and run, you'll have a batter going, say, at 50 or 60 or 70% speed to second base, and if anything happens with the batter, the runner could be immediately thrown out. I would have my runner going full speed just as they were.
They were definitely going on a full straight steal. Pickoff play down to second. Gaston wheels. Nobody there. And the fans don't yell balk, so they obviously know it wasn't a balk.
Sometimes they yell balk when they know it's not a balk anyway.
Gaston ready. Here's the runners are going. Pitch. They're going to throw down to second base and into center field. And here comes Jarvis Johnson. And the ball gets past the center fielder. And Bryce Avery will score also. And once again, speed can really hurt you.
Certainly can. When you have people on the base paths that the pitcher and the defense have to think about, it helps your hitters because it takes the attention away to an extent from the hitter. The other thing is it forces the defense on its toes. The catcher for the Griffin Bears, Jay Culverson, has had trouble with his throws to second. You kind of figured that the Rams would utilize their speed against that catcher. This time the throw was into center field and just happened to have gotten past Lynn Dunn, and it took Shea Treadway to catch up with him.
Here's the pitch to Stephen Hires, and that evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
The official scoring on this one is going to be fun.
Well, it's going to be 2 stolen bases, an error on the catcher, and then an error on the center fielder to allow the second run to score. Here's the 1-1 to Stephen Hires, foul down the third baseline. So 2 errors on the same play.
And the catcher's throw was into center field. However, the center fielder was in a great position to cut the ball off. It just went right almost between his legs.
I think he had visions of trying to gun Jarvis Johnson at the plate, and in doing so, he forgot one thing as he came up throwing. The little white thing.
The most important thing of all, got to have the ball.
1-2 to Hires. Here's the pitch. Low and away. That evens the count now at 2-2 as the Ram first sacker bats here in the top of the 4th inning. 2-2 the count with 2 out. The Rams have played at 2. Charity gifts. Here's the pitch to Hires, and it's about 3 feet over his head. That runs the count full. 3-2.
Griffin's got some action in their bullpen, a left-hander warming up. Might see a lefty going against the Rams.
Stephen had an RBI in the first inning as he kept the ball in play and drove home the runner with a ground out to the shortstop. Here's the pitch. Oh, and he swings and misses a terrible pitch. It's all the way to the backstop. Catcher up, throws to first, and he is saved! So good hustle by Stephen Hires. Takes a terrible pitch to strike out, but he reaches first base on the wild pitch. The catcher, Jay Culverson, appeared to have plenty of time, but took too much time, threw the ball high, and Hires was safe.
Yeah, Bill, of the stadiums, the fields that we go to visit, I think this one is one of the shortest in terms of the distance between home plate and the backstop. Not a lot of room back here. That ball didn't bounce away very quickly, though, and Culverson had to go all the way back to the screen to get it.
Hires going on the play, and Luke Allen drills the ball to left center field. The center fielder, Lynn Dunn, on the hook, does not get it, and Hires will score. Here's Allen holding up at second with a double. I'll tell you, Kevin, the wind finally came into play.
Certainly did. That ball was hit toward left center field, and going after it, the Griffin left fielder, Neil Davis, and the center fielder, Lynn Dunn, both of them really kind of trotting after the ball. I wonder if both thought the other had the inside track on the ball. Finally, it came Dunn's way, and it was several feet away from him.
And it actually got over his head, so he credit a double. And, of course, once again, here comes the courtesy runner as the Rams let Allen come and sit down.
They go with Lane Floyd again.
Correct. Chris Middlebrooks steps up, and he takes the ball down low. Rams with the benefit of 3 runs here in this inning without really doing a whole lot. 1-0 to Middlebrooks. Lane Floyd leads from second. Here's the pitch. Swinging the ball chopped to the shortstop, and Carl Nichols up and throws, and a good dig by Craig Reynolds at first base, and that'll finally do it for the Rams in the top half of the 4th inning. They do come up with 3 runs on 2 hits. There were 2 errors, and the Rams left 1 runner on base. We head now to the bottom of the 4th inning. Your score is Newton 5, and the Bears of Griffin on the Schneid. You're listening to Newton Ram Baseball, live on WGFS AM 1430, made possible by East Metro Communications.
It's a final markdown on clearance shoes at the Ladies Shoe Warehouse. They have over 1,500 pairs of shoes on sale, and you can take an additional 20% off the sale price during their final liquidation. It's also a sale on ladies' handbags. They have a great selection to choose from with 25 to 50% off the price. The Ladies Shoe Warehouse also has ladies' all-weather boots on sale. The boots are a $60 value on sale for $9.99 less the 20% final markdown. This incredible sale is at the Ladies Shoe Warehouse on Salem Road at the Salem Square Shopping Center. They have over 10,000 pair of shoes in stock with the new spring styles arriving weekly. The Ladies Shoe Warehouse is open Thursdays 10 until 6, Friday 10 until 7, and Saturdays 10 until 6. That's the Ladies Shoe Warehouse on Salem Road at the Salem Square Shopping Center. The Ladies Shoe Warehouse.
Welcome back to Newton Ram Baseball 1996. The score is good if you're a Ram fan. They're on top 5-0. And here, to make his play-by-play debut for the season, one half of the dynamic duo, Mr. Kevin Holden.
Tip of the hat to you, Newton Ram fans. Nice to be back for 1996 and get the chance to do a little of the play-by-play thing. Bill, you get to switch into a color roll, so why don't you analyze what we've seen so far from the Rams getting three runs, I should say, in that inning off of a couple of charity things from the Griffin Bears.
Well, that, and I credit those runs to Coach Joe Brassfield. We'll call those Coach Brassfield runs because he believes in making things happen, have the runners going, and make them make a mistake, and they give you runs, and now you've got a 5-run lead instead of just 2 runs.
We knew that Brassfield would not sit idly by, and he didn't, and the Rams scored 3. Luke Allen set to face Craig Reynolds, and a ball mysteriously pops onto the field. I think there's some action in the bullpen, and a ball got loose out there.
Somebody needs to warm up a little more if that ball's coming that far.
Holy cow, I wonder, I don't think the wind quite did that much. The bullpen's a good 40, 50 feet away. Allen winds his first pitch is the off-speed, just off the outside corner. It's 1-0.
Now it's real important for Luke to really throw strikes, especially with the 5-run lead.
Craig Reynolds here with a count of 1-0. Singled his first time up. Allen winds and deals. That's the fastball outside. Make it 2-0 to the Griffin Bear first baseman.
Bear dugout whooping it up a little bit, trying to get something going.
Brooks with the sign. The 2-0 is on the way. It's a called strike right down the heart, 2-1.
Luke needed that to get back into the count. What he doesn't want to do is put people on via that free pass.
Allen continuing to work quickly here in the 4th inning. His 2-1 pitch is past Middlebrooks and back to the screen. This time trying to place a pitch outside, Bill, a little high, and he's in a hole here, 3-1, to the only Griffin Bear hitter who has a hit off him so far.
That ball was not hit that hard. It was kind of just looped over Doyle Baker's head into left field.
Reynolds bats from the left-hand side. The 3-1 pitch on the way. It's a called strike at the knees, 3-2. There's Luke Allen placing that low fastball.
And perhaps a little help from the umpire there. He has been given that low call, and Luke took advantage of it there.
Full count pitch is on the way. Swung and fouled back to the screen. Count remains full, 3-2. After Craig Reynolds, it'll be Jay Culverson and John Dinkins. It's an important inning here for the Rams, having just scored 3 runs. They're facing the heart of the Griffin Bear order here. Luke Allen, the senior, looks in, has the sign he wants, the 3-2 pitch grounded out toward third base. Doyle Baker bobbles it for a moment, picks it up, long throw to first base, not in time. Reynolds reaches with what will be his second hit of the game and the second hit for the Bears as a team.
And I believe the reason the umpire called him safe, I believe Stevens' foot came off the bag just slightly right as the throw there. So what's the official score going to call on that?
Well, if it pulled his foot off the bag, I guess it's an error then on the first baseman.
It looked like the ball on the third baseman, on the throw. It looked like the throw pulled his foot off the bag after bobbling it there.
Mental mistake on my part. What you think and what you say sometimes are two different things. An error on Doyle Baker there. Quick throw to first base. Back in is Reynolds. Griffin has actually only had 4 base runners in this game. One was picked off. Reynolds has been on twice, and Carl Nichols was stranded at third base back in the second. Stretch, here's the pitch. They're bunting up the third baseline, and Baker's going to let it roll foul and pick it up. That ball was bunted very hard. If Baker had the chance to pick that one up, he might have had a play either at second or first. Very hard bunted ball.
Now, the runner was breaking off for first. I don't believe he would have had a play at second, and once it got fouled, Doyle did a good job of keeping it foul.
Jake Culverson grounded out to first his first time. Another throw to first base and almost caught Reynolds leaning the wrong way. He came back in just in time. Rams up 5-0 here. We're in the 4th inning. Rams will try to go to 4-0 on the 1996 season yesterday with 2 wins over Huffman, a high school out of Birmingham, Alabama. And the first game of the year, of course, the Rams with the win over Eagles Landing.
First base coach down there talking to his base runner, taking a little bit of time, and
Reynolds ready to go now, takes his lead. Allen's delivery, swung, grounded back to the mound, could be 2. They go to short, but the shortstop drops it. There will be no play. Matt Easterday dropped the throw to second base, and so instead of having a double play here, Griffin will have 2 men on. Allen's throw was not a bad one. I think Easterday might have reacted a little quickly at the shortstop position.
I believe the throw was perfect from Luke Allen. He led him perfectly. I believe you have to give the error to Matt Easterday on the play, so call that an E6. So the Rams starting to come unglued a little bit defensively here. Perfect double play ball, and like I said, Luke Allen led Matt Easterday with a perfect throw, and Matt just tried to get rid of it before he got it.
Here's Dinkins. He struck out looking his first time. Big Don Dinkins. Raiders take their lead. Luke Allen takes a look at second base, comes home with the off speed, and it just missed. I think a little inside, 1-0.
This is an occasion where Luke has to dig kind of deep and make sure he keeps control of himself and not get upset over an error by a teammate behind him or a call by an umpire.
Stretch in the 1-0 pitch. There's a called strike outside corner, 1-1. Action for the Newton Rams in the bullpen. Luke Allen can go a fair number of pitches. As you know, Coach Brassfield works early in the season off a pitch count, doesn't want to overwork any pitcher, but since the Rams have 6 off days after today, I think he could extend the pitch count a little if he saw Luke Allen was pitching well. 1-1 pitch on the way home. It's a little low with the fastball. Makes it 2-1.
It looks like Ryan Lee starting to heat it up down in the bullpen. Ryan did a great job in the season opener, pitching 3 innings and earning the save. He went 3 full innings, bailing Doyle Baker out, who came in and was fairly ineffective that outing.
Stretch and the 2-1 pitch, the off-speed, fouled off the foot of Dinkins and down the third baseline, make it 2-2. Well, the Rams have heated Ryan Lee so much, maybe they should keep him up with the varsity squad for the remainder of the year. I know there was talk of dropping him down to let him get some extra work, but getting plenty of work up here.
Well, I think the key is if he's going to get enough work up on this level, they'll leave him up. But, you know, it's just as a sophomore and a pitcher, you want to make sure you get plenty of work to develop properly.
Dinkins did 2-2 to him outside with the fastball, 3-2, nice location on it, just off the outside part.
It didn't miss by much, and the Ram fans hooting and hollering a little wanting that call, and Luke kind of looked for it too. Excellent pitch.
Chris Middlebrooks, a senior, gives the sign to Luke Allen, also a senior. 3-2 line down the first base line, but foul. Count will remain full. And John Dinkins, a right-handed batter, couldn't get around on the fastball. It shows you how hard Luke Allen is throwing. Dinkins could only manage to hit the ball down the first base line.
It hit the ball hard, though. That may be, in fact, the hardest the ball has been hit by one of these Griffin Bears off of Luke Allen today. But like you said, he didn't get around on it, couldn't get it in fair territory.
That much of a difference between the fastball and the off-speed. We'll see what happens on the 3-2. It is the off-speed. It's a line past the diving shortstop in the left field for a base hit. Rounding third, they're going to hold the runner there. So Craig Reynolds will be held up as Bryce Avery brings the throw in. Avery, normally a center fielder's got a good arm, and so they decide to hold the runner, and the bases will now be loaded with no one out.
Once again, that ball not hit tremendously hard, but it had eyes as it snuck through between Doyle Baker and Matt Easterday. Matt with a dive trying to get to it, but was unable to come up with it.
So the bases loaded, no one out here, and the Ram miscues on defense are really helping to set up what could be a big inning here for the Griffin Bears, and Carl Nichols steps in. He's yet to have an official at bat. He walked his first time and was stranded over at third base. Takes the first one for a strike. It's 0-1, and Luke Allen isn't losing control here. Bill is just trying to pump the strikes in there and not trying to overthrow.
Seems to be in complete control of himself, which is real important.
0-1 pitch on the way home. It's swung on and grounded. Luke Allen going to try to cut it off and come home. They got in there. All other hands safe. Nice job from Luke Allen, who has done a good job fielding his position today. He's taken a couple of throws at first to help save a run. And there, on a weakly hit ground ball, toward first base where Stephen Hires probably wouldn't have had a play, he came in and made it.
Really good play. I was kind of surprised that he whirled him through to the plate. Normally with a 5-run lead, you might go ahead and just get the sure out at first base. But he whirled and made a perfect throw to Chris Middlebrooks and kept the Bears off the board.
Well, that key first out has been made here. The first pitch inside, ball 1 to Brian Burkhalter. Now, of course, the Rams up the middle can play back and possibly play for 2 here. 1-0 pitch, a called strike at the knees. It's 1-1.
Playing in at the corners, Doyle Baker in at third and Hires playing into first, so they'll probably come home on the ground ball, whereas second and short will go up traditional way for 2.
Swinging a foul ball off to the right side. Making a ball and 2 strikes. Brian Burkhalter, the number 7 batter, here in the Griffin order. The Rams on top 5-0 here in the bottom half of the 4th. Henry County High School is the host of this part of the South Metro tournament, so the Rams will come back here at least twice more. Wind in the 1-2 pitch, fastball low, evens it up.
Good looking pitch on a 1-2 count, just off the outside part of the plate. not where he could get hit. The batter went after it.
Matt East is on deck. 2-2 called, strike three, outside corner. And Luke Allen has helped himself out there, placing a nice pitch on the outside part. It is his fourth strikeout of the game.
Big time for the strikeout. Of course, he got the little nubber ground ball back to him that he made a great defensive play on, and then the strikeout. He's within one batter pitching out of a jam.
Bases loaded, no one out. They had, thanks to a couple of errors by the left side of the infield, one by Baker and one by Easterday. So Matt East will be the hitter. He's 0 for 1, having grounded to first his first time up. That ended the second inning. Came up with a runner in scoring position in that inning, couldn't score him. Here he comes up with two runners in scoring position and another at first base. Alan Wines delivers the 1-0. There's a called strike. Throw to first base. Middlebrooks was falling down, and here comes a runner home, and he'll be safe. Middlebrooks, on his throw to first base, slipped and fell, and because he slipped and fell, the runner from third, Jake Culverson, took off for the plate. Ended up scoring the run, and Joe Brassfield is going to go out and have a heart-to-heart talk with Chris Middlebrooks about probably about trying to pick off the runner at first base with a runner over at third.
Kind of wonder. There was a play earlier on the base hit left field. Notice the difference in the coaching philosophies of the Rams and the Bears. Coach Brassfield would have sent that runner home and made him throw him out the plate, whereas they held it up. And to this point, it looked like Luke was going to be able to pitch out of it. Kind of a not so good judgment there, perhaps, by Chris Middlebrooks. Tried to pick the runner off first.
Well, he has been informed of what Coach Brassfield believes would be the correct thing to do on that play, and Luke Allen's 1-1 is a fastball in low, 2-1. Stretch by Allen, now first and second. Pickoff play going to second, but Easterday had to reach to the first base side of the bag, and so back in safely is Dinkins. Griffin's first run of this game.
And you'd still have to feel pretty good if Luke could get out of this with only one run.
Stretching the 2-1 pitch, a fastball up high, 3-1. Shea Treadway is on deck. Treadway has had some early season trouble. He struck out his first time.
Small strike zone, rather, for Luke to throw to this Matt East.
3-1 pitch is on the way, grounded towards second base. Rams can get out of it here. Ryan Moon bobbles it for a moment. Throw to first, though, still got him. And the Rams escape with only one run scoring. The Griffin Bears had one hit. There were two Newton Ram errors and a pair of runners left on base. And after 4 innings of play, your score, the Newton Rams 5 and the Griffin Bears 1. Newton Ram baseball in 1996 here on WGFS AM 1430. Being brought to you by the folks at East Metro Communications. Folks, East Metro Communications has been named the Agent of the Year in the small market division for the third time. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Ladies and gentlemen, a tremendous thing. Go by and see Joe and all the folks at East Metro Communications.
Samples to your home, take measurements, and quote you a price all in one visit. Call them, Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, 786-9245, 786-9245, or in Madison, 342-3869, 342-3869. Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies.
And welcome back to a windy, chilly Craig Lunsford Field in Henry County as the Newton Rams still on top by the score of 5-1 as we head to the 5th inning. Here to bring you the chilly play-by-play, my partner, Kevin Holden.
And to top it off, Bill Dolan, despite the cold and the wind and everything, your play-by-play announcer has developed a case of the hiccups in that fast a time in the break between innings. So let's hope it doesn't stick around. Richie Cleary, the first man due up here for the Rams. He is 0 for 2, and the first pitch is about a 40-mile-an-hour curveball that bounces about 5 feet in front of home plate. It's 1-0.
That would make it about a 55-foot, 6-inch curveball.
That's very good. Not only is he a color man, knows his map. Wine and the 1-0 pitch missing just a little bit outside with the fastball. Make it 2-0. Cleary struck out in the second, reached on a fielder's choice, and actually stole second base in the third. Aston takes a look in at Jake Culverson. Going to bring the 2-0 home down, the sidearm delivery, and Cleary swings and misses at the off-speed.
Richie really looked like he was bailing out on that. Aston came down from the side. Kind of hoping at 2-0, Richie might see a fastball. But
perhaps he will at 2-1. Give the sign and the 2-1 pitch on the way to Cleary. It's a fastball, but from the sidearm delivery, and it comes in low. Make it 3-1.
good hitters count here. Richie just needs to look for a particular pitch to hit. He can be very selective at 3-1. Doesn't have to go chase anything. Look for a pitch in a given zone.
That 3-1 pitch must have been in that zone because he swung, but he popped it up. Foul territory, first base side, but back into fair territory to make the catch is Craig Reynolds. That ball on a normal day would have been up against the fence. Ended up not against the fence, it ended up all the way back into fair territory a couple of steps where Craig Reynolds made the play. He broke to his left to foul territory and then right back.
Well, I thought he broke a little too far because off the bat it immediately looked like it was going down the line. He was already into foul territory, so it fooled him a little bit. It could almost have been a break for the Rams.
Ryan Moon, the first pitch to him, nearly hits him. In fact, he has to go in toward home plate to get out of the way of it. Make it 1-0. He's 0 for 1, Ryan Moon is, having walked one time also.
The ball actually behind him, and Plug had to do a little bit of a dance to get out of the way.
1-0 pitch to him, swung and grounded hard, past the hole between third and short. That's a base hit. Ryan Moon's first of this game, and the Rams' fifth of this one.
And Ryan said, all right, you want to play that way? Took the next one and just bombed the hole between third and short. That's what you like to see. Go ahead and knock me down. I got something for you. Bring it in, and I'm going to take it where it came.
Ryan Moon being a second baseman, you know he's a tough little competitor, and that's exactly what you're going to see out of him every time. Doyle Baker, 1 for 2, singled his first time. And a high pop fly to center field that caught by Lynn Dunn back in the fourth inning. That started the fourth, where the Rams scored 3 runs on only 10.
They really were the beneficiaries from Gabby by the Bears.
Stretch the pitch to Baker outside, ball 1.
Baker has shown an ability to swing the bat. Had a few early season problems with Love. I think he's going to turn around and be a pretty good third baseman for the Rams.
Right-handed batter stands in here. Fewer lefties out of the Ram lineup than we're used to seeing. 1-0 pitch is in low, make it 2-0. We do have Bryce Avery, Luke Allen, and Jarvis Johnson all batting from the left-hand side. And for a high school team, 3 is actually an average to above average number of lefties, but there was a year that this Ram team had 6 or 7 lefties in the order. Very rare. 2-0 pitch, swung and bounced right in front of home plate, but it's called foul. Baker probably fouled that off his foot, make it 2-1.
I think the ball actually hit in foul territory behind home plate, and the umpire quickly called it foul immediately. He to make sure somebody doesn't hurt on the foot.
2 balls and 1 strike. Baker takes a look down at Joe Brassfield. In his second year at the helm of the Newton Ram program, he's down the third baseline, and Don Shepard in his first year is down the line at first. Stretch, runner going on the 2-1 and hits him. The ball hit Doyle Baker. The off-speed pitch hit him in the hip. Doyle Baker trots down to first base, and there isn't much exchange between the Rams and Griffin Bears. That was a curveball that just didn't curve. Very slow pitch that hit him.
Yeah, and Doyle got caught in no man's land. He tried to get out of the way, and he actually turned into it more, but that's the natural reaction when you're trying to get out of the way. I don't think it hurt him too much. Hit him in the wallet, so he's all right.
If it were a fastball, and Gaston does throw hard, it might have been a different story, but that was about as slow and off-speed pitch as we've seen. Jarvis Johnson, the first pitch, is a fastball, and it's inside for ball 1. Johnson has had a tremendous day at the plate, 2 for 2, including a thunderbolt to right field.
He really ripped a shot past the second base last time up.
1-0 pitch is past the catcher, back to the screen. Rams will move up a base. Moon to third and Baker to second. And now you look for some big opportunities for both Jarvis Johnson and Bryce Avery.
Oh, that pitch was up a little bit, Kevin. Jay Culverson had glove on it, and I believe that was a pass ball instead of a wild pitch. He obviously had all of his glove on it. He squeezed it and got back to the screen. We're going to call that a pass ball.
It was a very high pitch, as you mentioned, about to the helmet level, about head high, but again, as you say, Culverson did have a grasp on it. 2-0 pitch is outside with the sidearm delivery, make it 3-0, and all of a sudden, Gaston having trouble finding the strike zone against the bottom of the order.
Bottom of the order has been the ones that have done the damage for the Rams here today.
One more wide one, bases will be loaded for Avery. 3-0 taking all the way, it's an off-speed for strike 1.
Strange pitch on 3-0, kind of an off-speed breaking ball, and he got it over for the strike. Something you just don't normally see.
Shows one of 2 things. Gaston either really has confidence in the off-speed, or right now he has no confidence in the fastball. One of those 2 has to be true. To throw that in a situation where you have to have a strike. 3-1, Johnson bunting, it's the squeeze play. They tag the runner. No, they don't. He's safe at home plate. They missed tagging Ryan Moon. That ball was hit, or tapped, I should say, on the bunt about 10 feet in front of the plate. The catcher, Jay Culverson, thought he had a shot at Ryan Moon. He did not. And so on the fielder's choice, Jarvis Johnson will reach. It is an RBI and put the Rams up now 6-1.
Kind of a tough call. Actually, I believe we could almost call that a sacrifice, and then he reaches on the fielder's choice and not charge him with an at-bat there. It was in the attempt to bring the runner home. So let's call that a sack with reaching on the fielder's choice. And almost you could have called a base hit, because I don't know if they would have gotten him out, but they did try to make the play, so you have to go with that. I think that warrants a sacrifice.
Well, on the sacrifice, scoring is Ryan Moon. Doyle Baker made it over to third, and time has been called as Griffin's head baseball coach is out to the mound to talk to Matt Gaston. Gaston has run into some troubles here, allowing 3 straight to reach base, the single from Ryan Moon. Then he hit Doyle Baker. Both of them moved up on the pass ball, and then after that, Jarvis Johnson, on the suicide squeeze, reaches base, and the Rams score anyway. So the best possible result out of that, he beat out the bunt. Everybody advances. And the Griffin Bears are going to be making a pitching change, and as they do that, we're going to take this quick break here. Newton Ram Baseball on WGFS AM 1430. Made possible by East Metro Communications. Joe told me earlier today that there are so many different deals that they have, so many different great deals that they have that basically you can't even mention them all. Go by and see Joe and the folks at East Metro Communications who help us to bring you Ram Baseball.
The Bank of Covington offers full-service banking and convenient locations. And you can find what you want in a checking account, savings plan, simple interest loan, and 24-hour automatic banking that gives you access to over 8,000 ATMs throughout the Southeast and the USA. Just what you would expect from a leading financial institution. The Bank of Covington, member FDIC, an equal opportunity lender.
Drop by Coast to Coast and check out Snapper's high-vac riding mower. It changes with the seasons. Just attach the thatcherizer and remove thatch in the spring. In summer, its vacuum system sets up grass for a smooth cut. And come fall, this powerful machine picks up leaves, even pine cones. There's even a lifetime warranty on the mower housing. Test drive one at Coast to Coast. Ask about Snap credit with low monthly payments and start enjoying a Snapper year-round today.
Hello and welcome back to Craig Lunsford Field at Henry County High School. Bill Dolan, Kevin Holden bringing you the play-by-play action of the Rams, Griffin Bears, part of the South Metro Tournament. Bill, we're excited to bring you Ram baseball once again. It'll be a week before we get our chance to do this again, but we'll be right back at Henry County High School.
That's right. We'll be here next Saturday in a later start, so it'll probably be colder. I'll have to find another coat. And a new pitcher for the Bears of Griffin, as Jason Monday appears on Saturday to face the Newton Rams.
Here he faces Avery, who is 0 for 2, having walked also in the fourth. He came around to score on an error by the center fielder. Monday pitching on Saturday, huh?
Don't be surprised to see the Ram runners going.
Southpaw with the stretch and the pitch, a little bit low, 1-0.
I'll tell you had to be impressed by that bunt by Jarvis Johnson. That ball died. It did not even get out of the dirt. It was almost too good of a bunt.
Jarvis Johnson has certainly worked on his hitting. He is as much improved as any Ram hitter I've seen in a couple of years here. Pitch is called a strike. Runner going for second. Goes in standing up. Johnson with the stolen base. We know that he has some speed. So for a number 9 batter right now, he's doing a tremendous job. Having gone 2 for 2 with a sacrifice, couple of RBI, and the stolen base to go with it.
And the Bears had the play on their mat. He's cut in front, waiting to see if the runner from third would break. Did not, so an easy stolen base for Jarvis.
1-1 pitch is about 10 feet.
Bulldog Tire Company is your complete car care center. They take off tires, wheels, have wheel alignment, tune-ups, brake service, road and farm service, radiator repair, wrecker service, and much, much more. That's Bulldog Tire Company. Talk to owner Tommy Coker at 787-6030, 787-6030. Bulldog Tire Company, 4108 Elm Street in Covington. Bulldog Tire Company.
Aside from choosing the right home, it's important to choose the right mortgage loan. At Newton Federal Savings and Loan, we're putting today's low rates together with prompt hometown service in offering special construction perm loans with one-time closing, conventional and balloon mortgages, and more. And servicing of your loan remains right here, too. Newton Federal Savings and Loan, 3175 Highway 278, Covington. FDIC insured and equal housing lender.
We are back from Henry County High School. We had some temporary technical difficulties, but while you were away, good things happened. Bryce Avery drew a base on balls, and now we have the bases loaded here for the Newton Rams. Here in the fifth inning with Matt Easterday stepping to the plate. He's reached base twice already in this game. Stretch from the lefty Monday. His pitch is a called strike, 0-1. The umpire behind home plate has been giving a lot of calls on a lot of sides to the pitchers. Gives the high one there.
That's the first high pitch he's called. That ball was really up high. Maybe he's getting cold too, Tim.
The wind the pitch, Easterday takes a kind of a half cut at it, fouls it back, making it 0-2. After Easterday, we'll see Stephen Hires.
Jason Monday, the pitcher, really has kind of a herky-jerky motion. He appears to almost stop and then bring it. Appears to have pretty good velocity on the fastball.
The lefty takes a look in. Don't know if the Rams saw any lefties yesterday in Alabama. This could be the first one they've seen this year. Stretch. 0-2 pitch on the way. It's high and tight, making a ball and 2 strikes to the Rams shortstop.
And Easterday batting for the 4th time already in this game. Hit a fly ball with the runners going his last time up to the plate, and right fielder made a good play on him.
9 to Stretch. The 1-2 on the way. It's back to the mound. Monday is going to go home for 1. The throw to first is over the first baseman's head and down the right field line. Coming around to score is Jarvis Johnson. Stopping at third is Bryce Avery. Easterday will be safe at second. Make it 7-1. The Newton Rams on top. And Bill, I think one thing that set that play up was Jason Monday threw a rainbow to home plate.
Yeah, he really just kind of lobbed it in, and that made the catcher, Jay Culverson, have to rush a little bit. And by the time he went to throw, Matt Easterday was right in his line. I checked it. He was inside the box, so there was no problem there with him being called out for interference. And he threw it well over the first baseman's head. So an error on the catcher, no RBI for Easterday on the play.
Here's Stephen Hires swinging and popping one up high and deep to right center field. Dunn goes back, so does Treadway, and this one is going to drop yet again. The wind playing tricks on folks here. 1 run is in. Easterday will score. 2-run double from Stephen Hires, and the Rams take the 9-1 lead. And Bill, that ball was hit well, but I think the wind had as much to do with that as anything else.
It just got up in the wind and carried over Lynn Dunn's head, but can't give the wind an error on the play, so credit to Stephen Hires with a 2-run double on the play. He got a lot of it, got it high in the air. In fact, as you look out now, that ball got pretty close to the fence out there as it had ended up in almost straightaway center field.
It was a good hit off the bat, but I didn't think it was going to go that deep. Luke Allen steps in and takes the first pitch up high for ball 1. Allen doubled his last time to left center on a very similar play.
This is an interesting at-bat for Luke. I'd really like to see him have a good at-bat against the lefties. You remember how he struggled against left-handers last year.
Monday takes a total of...
Here on WGFS AM 1430. Every stroked line drive, every smashing home run, every called strike 3 on the outside corner. WGFS will bring you the Braves in 1996. The Braves are brought to you in part by Piedmont Outdoors, East Metro Communications, and the Hard Luck Cafe.
Randy wanted me to be sure and let everyone know that the Hard Luck now has 3 locations. That's one in Covington. So for the best hot wings around, stop by the Hard Luck or call ahead so your wings will be ready when you get... I can't remember all the numbers, but in Covington it's 787-0421. That's 787-0421. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to tell them that Carl sent you.
And welcome back to Craig Lunsford Stadium on the campus of Henry County High School. And Newton Rams baseball. The Rams, beneficiaries again of some defensive miscues by the Griffin Bears, have extended their lead now to 9-1. And Rams have made a few changes. Here to tell you all about it and bring the play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
Thank you, Bill Dolan. Thank you very much. The Rams have a new pitcher. That one be Ryan Lee. They've had a couple of changes as well in the outfield. Luke Allen, who was the first pitcher, has moved out to center field, and Jarvis Johnson to left. And the Rams don't lose anything speed-wise in the outfield with Luke Allen there instead of Bryce Avery. He's got tremendous speed out in center field. Ryan Lee will be facing Shea Treadway as his first hitter. Treadway takes a pitch low for ball one. Ryan Lee saw action against Eagles Landing on Tuesday. Speaking of which, they'll be playing in the second game Eagles Landing will right here at Henry County High School against the Warhawks of Henry County. There's a swing and a miss by Treadway, make it 1-1.
And you don't lose a lot with velocity when Ryan Lee comes in. He throws almost as hard as Luke Allen does and has good spotting ability and a good breaking ball to go along with it.
Very poised and mature pitcher for only a sophomore. Wind and the 1-1 pitch. A curveball breaks down low, 2-1. Nice break on the curveball, but a good job by Treadway of holding away from that pitch.
They appealed the call down to the first base umpire, but he said no, that the batter did not go around.
Lee delivers the 1-2 outside. Evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Allen shading Treadway several steps over toward the left center field gap. Leary also giving Treadway the right field line. Line and the pitch, swing and a miss. So a 2-strike count on Shea Treadway. That pitch, nice fastball, let her high.
Treadway might have helped him out there. That could have been ball 3 as the ball looked like it was up well in the strike zone, if not out of it, but he failed to come up with it.
There's another swing and a miss and a strikeout to start things out here for Ryan Lee. It's the second time that Treadway has gone down. It's the 5th strikeout for Ram pitching.
And Ryan Lee is a strikeout-type pitcher. He fanned 4 batters in, or I believe it was 5 batters in the 3 innings he pitched against Eagles Landing on Tuesday night. Got that good fastball and mixed it up with a good hard breaking ball.
Stepping to the plate is Lynn Dunn. Dunn walked his first time, lines one foul here. Look out on down the first base side. Make it 0-1. As part of the South Metro tournament, the Newton Rams get a chance to play everyone in their bracket of the South Metro, which means they'll get a chance to play Henry County. I think that's next week. They, of course, have already played Eagles Landing, and they'll play Griffin and Mount Zion before they take part in the finals. Hopefully, if they can win their bracket, they'll take part in the finals, and that'll be 2 weeks from today. The wind and the 0-1 pitch swung on, grounded hard. Doyle Baker, nice play, moving to his left. Throw to first is in time. Doyle Baker showing some good range from third base. Make it 2 down here.
Good play by Doyle there. He got off the ball real quickly and coming in while moving to his left, got the good hop, took his time, made a good strong throw over to Stephen Hires, and quickly 2 down. And Ryan Lee doing what you want to do with an 8-run lead, throwing strike.
That's the key. It's the key in any situation, but certainly with this kind of lead, there's no reason to do anything to put the runners on base. Let them find their way on base by hitting it. First pitch, a called strike on the off-speed. Neil Davis has not reached base in this game. He popped out to left field his first time, and in the third, he struck out looking to end that inning against Luke Allen. First time he's faced Lee here, swinging a hard grounder toward first base, but Stephen Hires with a nice play. Steps on the bag and thought there was 2 down, turned to look to throw the ball to shortstop, and didn't see one there. The reason being there are 3 down in the inning, so the Griffin Bears go down 1-2-3 at the hands of Ryan Lee, nothing across, and we head to the 6th with your score 9-1. The Newton Rams on top. It's Ram Baseball on WGFS, AM 1430. And we want to give some special thanks to the folks at East Metro Communications, Joe and Brenda and Tom, and especially Sean, who helped us out today. But go by and see them at East Metro Communications. They can hook you up with some terrific deals on cellular phones and, of course, cellular time.
It's a final markdown on clearance shoes at the Lady Shoe Warehouse. They have over 1,500 pairs of shoes on sale, and you can take an additional 20% off the sale price during their final liquidation. It's also a sale on ladies' handbags. They have a great selection to choose from with 25 to 50% off the price. The Ladies Shoe Warehouse also has ladies' all-weather boots on sale. The boots are a $60 value on sale for $9.99 less the 20% final markdown. This incredible sale is at the Ladies Shoe Warehouse on Salem Road at the Salem Square Shopping Center. They have over 10,000 pair of shoes in stock with the new spring styles arriving weekly. The Ladies Shoe Warehouse is open Thursdays 10 until 6, Friday 10 until 7, and Saturdays 10 until 6. That's the Ladies Shoe Warehouse on Salem Road at the Salem Square Shopping Center. The Ladies Shoe Warehouse.
And welcome back to wind-blown Craig Lunsford Field in Henry County as the Newton Rams on top by a 9-1 score as we head to the top of the 6th inning. And when I say windy, I mean it, Kevin Holden. It is getting colder as we speak.
No doubt about it. Sitting on metal bleachers won't help either of us. So right now we're standing, actually, so that we won't have to sit on the metal bleachers. And as we head to the 6th, we will see, unless we decide to come up with some pitch hitters here, we will see Chris Middlebrooks, Richie Cleary, and Ryan Moon. But I can already tell you that won't happen because Lane Floyd has a bat and is taking some cuts on the on-deck circle. Floyd will likely bat for Middlebrooks. Being that Floyd is a catcher, he may get a chance to see a couple innings here, and he will. Lane Floyd is going to bat for Middlebrooks. Middlebrooks finishes the day 0 for 3. He did reach on an error.
And Britt Mass swinging on deck, so it looks like he's going to get a chance to come up and take a hack or two.
So Lane Floyd will get a chance to bat here. He's a left-handed batter. Where's number 5, the old uniform number of Judd Hall, who has since gone on to big things at Middle Georgia, where he and Matt Hires have become a part of a tradition-rich program that went a long way last year and looks to do the same again this year. First pitch from the lefty to Floyd, swung on and grounded towards second. Easy grounder, nice play to first for out number 1.
Lane Floyd was a mainstay of the 16-1 junior varsity last year. Did a great job of hitting and held down the catching position. Looked very good defensively, kept runners at bay, and like I said, had a good year offensively. And the Rams are glad to have him up on the varsity. He can fill in amiably as a catcher in the event Chris Middlebrooks goes down or just needs a break.
And Britt Mask is going to come on here and hit for Richie Cleary. And I have a feeling once the bottom half of the 6th inning hits that this scorebook is going to be a serious mess. But for right now, we've only got pinch hitters to deal with. Mass steps in last year, 7 at-bats for the young Ram. He was 2 out of 7 for a batting average of 286. First pitch to him, several feet in front of the plate, make it ball 1.
I believe that one was about a 56-foot curveball there.
A lot of those in this game. I think the cold weather has meant that a lot of pitchers weren't able to warm up properly, and plus it's early in the year. The lefty Monday winds and deals. It's low, 2-0.
Although, once again, a really fine job by Luke Allen in the 4-ANC pitch, not allowing an earned run.
Once he settled down after the first batter or two, he looked terrific out there. 2-0, swung on and bounced at home plate, but it's foul. Make it 2 balls and 1 strike to Britt Mask.
Kind of nice for some of these Ram hitters to get at bats early in the season, and hopefully that'll pay off later on in the year when they need them, and that we'll have had this experience. So getting this 8-run lead is really beneficial for a lot of different reasons.
Line by Monday, his 2-1 delivery, a little low and outside, making 3 balls and a strike. Another good thing is the Rams will get a chance to go to 4-0 here.
That's the biggest reason.
Anytime you can put a W on the scoreboard, of course, it's always a big help. 3-1 pitch, swung on and missed. It was an off-speed pitch, very high, and Mask was very far out in front.
Britt had ideas of putting one up in the wind, I think, and sending it deep.
Unfortunate thing, several feet in front of that one. 3-2 pitch to him, misses outside, ball 4, so Britt Mask lays off and reaches base. He'll be at first with 1 down, and going to see another pinch hitter come in here for Ryan Moon. That's Brandon Smith. Smith, a junior, will come in here, and Ryan Moon finishes with a 1-for-2 performance with a walk and a run scored on the sacrifice.
Smitty real good with the glove down either at second base or third base. He can fill in at either position, and swings a pretty good stick at times, so he should be a big plus this year up on the varsity.
Throw to first base. They picked him off. Britt Mask, an aggressive base runner, and taking a little extra lead there, but unfortunately, as it was for him last year, being aggressive sometimes can hurt you.
I'll tell you what, though, Kevin Holden, if I were wearing blue, which I'm not, I might have had to yell balk on that play. That move looked a little bit suspicious, and I can understand perhaps perhaps how Britt got picked off, but it looked like a balk to me.
First one misses low, 1-0. If you'll remember, Britt Mask against Parkview last year in the region tournament had the same thing happen to him late in a game, and I think that was also against a left-hander. 1-0 pitch missing, make it 2 balls, no strikes to Brandon Smith. And for the Rams, of course, they want to be aggressive base runners, and occasionally when you have a runner picked off, you don't want that to take away from your being aggressive, and it's good to see at least that Britt Mask was staying aggressive. 2-0 inside, make it 3-0.
Well, he did manage. He has stolen a couple bases so far this year in some pinch running roles. He's done the courtesy running thing. But like you say, you want him to stay aggressive on the bases.
There's the first strike to Brandon Smith on the cripple pitch. On deck is Doyle Baker. Looks like he'll hit for himself. Need to correct that. That is not Baker on the on-deck circle. That is Shane Ballard. There's a swinging a liner down the left field line, but it's a foul ball. Make it 3-2. Brandon Smith getting ahead of the off-speed offerings here.
Turned on it and gave it a pretty good rip down the line, but foul. So he stands up with a full count now.
Rams scored 1 run in the first, another in the third, and then the explosion began. They scored 3 on 2 hits in the fourth, 4 more on only 2 hits in the fifth. Here in the sixth, they've yet to put one across. The 3-2 pitch, called strike 3, outside corner. Down goes Brandon Smith, down go the Rams. So for the first time since the second inning, they do not score. They had no hits. They had a man reach base, but he was picked off, and so no one was left on base. And after 5.5 innings, make it 9-1 in favor of the Newton Rams, as the Griffin Bears will come to the plate here in the bottom half of inning number 6. Newton Ram baseball on WGFS, AM 1430. We'd like to thank East Metro Communications for making it possible for us to bring you the game.
At Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, we've got you covered. With vinyl, wallpaper, carpet, wood, parquet, VCT tile, interior design service, carpet cleaning service, and blinds. They're the largest and most complete carpet store serving Newton, Rockdale, and Morgan counties, Lake Oconee, and surrounding areas. They specialize in residential and commercial flooring. Their professional carpet consultants and interior designer will bring samples to your home, take measurements, and quote you a price all in one visit. Call them, Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, 786-9245, 786-9245, or in Madison, 342-3869, 342-3869. Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies.
And welcome back to Henry County High School in Craig Lunsford Field, and Bill Dolan and I are going to try to sort out the changes. Let's give it a shot here, Bill.
All right, coming in to play shortstop is going to be Matt Vaughn, and the other half of the Keystone combination is now going to be Brandon Smith as he comes into play second base after pinch hitting in the last inning. Ryan Lee remains the pitcher. Britt Mask will take over for Richie Cleary in right field, and that appears to be all the change. Oh, and we do have a new catcher. Lane Floyd takes over for Chris Middlebrooks after hitting for him.
If your scorecard looks as messy as mine, then perhaps you can sympathize. Batting for the Griffin Bears here in the sixth inning, Craig Reynolds, Jake Culverson, and John Dingens are back to the heart of the order, but down 8. Ryan Lee can afford to be a little looser with those pitches. His first one catches the outside corner for strike 1. It's nice in an early season situation to not have a tremendous amount of pressure on you like young Ryan Lee has here. Just throw strikes.
All he needs to do.
An 0-1 on the way, the off-speed missing outside 1-1. If you get a tense situation early on, you get a young pitcher, throw him into the fire, he can tense up. Here Ryan Lee can just relax.
But a good chance to really get that experience on the varsity level as a sophomore.
This is high with the 1-1 offering, make it 2 balls and 1 strike. Craig Reynolds has reached base both times, once on an error by Matt Easterday. The other was a clean single back in the first inning. Here he swings and drives one deep to right field. Going back on it is Mask. He is back at the wall. This one is gone. Craig Reynolds put a charge into one and looks like a Major League ball player there as the score is now 9-2. Got a nice pitch in the wheelhouse and absolutely drove it a mile.
Oh, that ball was just tattooed, and it had every appearance of going, and it was kind of fighting the wind. It drifted. It looked like it might actually have hit off the light standard out there. Britt Mask turned, but was wasting his time. Of course, the right field fence is short. In fact, right down the right field line, it's not even 300 feet, so not a long way to go, but he got every bit of that Ryan Lee fastball and just nailed it.
He was, that he turned on it, being a left-handed batter, and hit it toward right center field. And once you saw it go up in the air like that, I had a feeling that we'd be minus one baseball, which is exactly what we are right now. Here's Culverson. Actually, there's a pinch hitter in the game here for Jay Culverson. Culverson grounded out in the first and pitched on an error in the fourth. Right-handed batter stepping in, Ryan Lee winds and he deals, and it's a called strike. That one was on the inside corner. This is Micah Gooch, pinch hitter for Jay Culverson.
I remember that name from last year, so.
Micah Gooch back into the action here as he swings and drives one deep to left field. Going back on this one, and this one is gone. Back-to-back home runs from the Griffin Bears. This time it's pinch hitter Micah Gooch who victimizes Ryan Lee. It is 9-3 Newton Rams, and that's the first time that the wind has held to 8 a ball hit toward left field.
And the entire Bears dugout out congratulating Micah Gooch. They're hooping and hollering, but they need to remember one thing. They're still down 6 in the 6th.
Long ways to go, but the bright spot here for the Griffin Bears with back-to-back home runs off the bats of Craig Reynolds and Micah Gooch. And Dinkins will hit for himself. There won't be a pinch hitter for him here. He winds and he delivers, and there's a swing and a foul ball behind the screen, 0-1. When you give up back-to-back home runs, Bill, it's kind of a demoralizing thing, really, because the home run is the ultimate mistake, and after you make a mistake like that, you certainly don't want to do it to the very next batter. The wind and the 0-1 delivery, swung on it and fouled back. That pitch was almost in the dirt, and he still tried to take a hack at it. It's 0-2.
Well, you know, we were talking about Ryan Lee and just the importance of throwing strikes, but I guess you have to be careful and not throw too good of strikes, as he found out. Doing a little better job pitching to the big guy here.
Dinkins struck out his first time, singled his second time up, advanced to second, but was held up there. The 0-2 pitch up high and outside, making a ball and 2 strikes. Griffin with 4 hits in this game. The unfortunate thing is 2 of those 4 have come from the last 2 batters, and they both left the yard. The wind and the 1-2 pitch on the way. Tried to throw the curveball, but couldn't snap it off. Evens it up.
Once again, it's hard to really snap that breaking ball with the wind blowing as hard as it is when you're fighting with the wind and gravity and everything else.
Lane Floyd gives the sign. Here's the 2-2. It's low. Making 3 balls and 2 strikes. So, of the original Ram team, we still have out there the cornermen, Doyle Baker and Stephen Hires. And Jarvis Johnson is in left field, Luke Allen in center. There's a swing and a liner to left center field. Going back on this one, and it bounces once and off the wall. Johnson will try to get it back in to hold John Dinkins to a double, and he does that successfully. But they are tattooing Ryan Lee right now as the Griffin Bears have suddenly found an offensive groove.
That ball hit to the absolute deepest part of the ballpark. In fact, it bounced right in that corner. That's 389 feet where that ball bounced and hit one time off the wall. And Coach Brassfield coming out to talk to Mr. Lee.
Now, Ryan Lee has not fooled the batters he's faced in this inning. Here's the odd part. Came out in the 5th inning, retired the Griffin Bears 1-2-3. But perhaps with it shifting and getting much colder here and the wind continuing to blow, perhaps the Ram top half of the 6th inning might have caused some problems. We have Jason Lunsford warming up for the Rams in the bullpen.
And he appears to be cranking it up in a hurry, the crafty little left-hander. Be a far different appearance from what the Bears have seen. That might be a good change. Get them off that. They're sitting on that fastball. Of course, you sit on Jason's fastball, there's not much to sit for.
Jason will come in and throw off-speed after off-speed. Slower and slowest, essentially. What Mike Botker used to say. Carl Nichols will be the batter, and he swings and pops one up to shallow right field. This could be trouble. In comes Mask. Out goes the second baseman, Brandon Smith. He makes the catch. And holding at second base is John Dinkins. So nice catch there from Smith. And the Eastside Eagles lost their game by a score of 4-3. Rockdale beat the Eastside Eagles, as a matter of fact, 4-3.
That information we just got from junior varsity coach of the Rams, Coach Stanley Allen, as he walked by giving us that information.
There's a swing swinging a foul ball down the first baseline from Brian Burkhalter. It's 0-1. Burkhalter is 0 for 2. And Bill, since Coach Allen is here, could we say Coach Stanley Allen is in the house? Can we say that?
In the house, whatever. You know that pop fly that was hit earlier? Probably a little more experienced right fielder, such as Richie or one of the normal outfielders, would have called off Brandon Smith and made the play because it looked like he had a chance to make it.
That's another curveball from Lee that didn't snap, and it's 1-1, and that could be a problem for Lee and why they're able to sit on the fastball is right now can't seem to break off that breaking pitch.
Brandon Smith did end up making a real good play on that, going out and getting it, because Britt did hesitate just a little bit coming in.
1-1 pitch, a little inside, make it 2-1. The Rams have 5 strikeouts as a staff. Ryan Lee's first batter resulted in a strikeout. He retired the Griffin Bears 1-2-3 in the 5th, but been mostly damaged here in the 6th. 2-1 pitch, up high with the fastball, make it 3-1. Lunsford continues to work quickly in the bullpen. They may need him sooner than they think.
There have been some rockets hit by the Bears in this 6th inning.
Dinkins leads away. Here's the 3-1, another one up high. That was above the helmet, ball 4. Burkhalter reaching. And to the plate steps Matt East. Not Matt Easterday, Matt East. He is 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts.
You know, Kevin, this is just a little bit indicative of a young pitcher. Now, Ryan Lee having trouble with the breaking ball, trying to throw the fastball, and he's overthrowing now, and that's why the ball is sailing so high. Needs to get back within control of himself and bring the ball over the plate like that.
That first pitch was a called strike and a nice delivery. About knee-high on the inside corner. On deck is Shea Treadway, who has struck out twice, so for Ryan Lee, he needs to bear down against this hitter. He could get out of the inning very easily. Giving up a pair of home runs to the first 2 batters in this inning. Stretch and the pitch. There's another called strike, 0-2, and Lee, just like that, appears to have settled down.
And Matt East didn't appear to like that call. He thought it was a little bit high, but not a very big strike zone there. In fact, not much bigger than that of Eddie Goodell, it doesn't look like.
I think you're right. That is a very small, you can definitely tell he's a middle infielder. 0-2 pitch, misses outside, 1-2. And it's the worst thing in the world if you're a pitcher to walk someone and have someone else, the next batter, come to the plate with a very small strike zone. It doesn't help your confidence a whole lot to have such a small target to throw to after you've just given up the free pass. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Griffin Bears second baseman. Shea Treadway awaiting on deck. There's the pitch swung on and grounded towards second. Smith is going to take it. He's going to go to second, and he pulled the shortstop off the bag. All hands are safe.
And that'll be an error on the second baseman, Brandon Smith. Perhaps using a little bit of bad judgment. He probably should have gone ahead and gotten a sure out at first base instead of trying to turn to second. And when he did, the runner was there and trying to throw the ball over to Matt Vaughn. Got the throw up high, and it pulled Matt off the back.
So instead of going for the sure out and letting the runners advance, they try to go to second and run into some trouble. So with the bases loaded, here is Shea Treadway. You mentioned Treadway has struggled in this game, a pair of strikeouts. Runner taking off for third base, and there's a runner standing at third right now. The runner is trying to steal third base with another runner right there, so they tag him out. Here comes a runner home. The throw home is past the catcher and back to the screen, so a run will score for Griffin. Here comes East around second, heads for third, dives in there. How's that for a play? From second base, Brian Burkhalter takes off to steal third, wonders why he has such an easy time of stealing third. John Dinkins happens to be standing on the third base bag. So he takes off for the plate, and on the throw back to third, they try to get Burkhalter going back to second. They do that, but in the meanwhile, Dinkins scores. So they get 9-4.
Very strange play. Somebody obviously missed a sign somewhere. I couldn't believe it when I thought he was bluffing off second, and then he came full tilt, and that could really prove disastrous to the Bears as they could run themselves right out of the inning.
So 2-5-4. Burkhalter is retired. Pitches up high to Treadway, 1-0. Shea's uncle, Jeff Treadway. That name should sound familiar.
And charge another error to Brandon Smith on the throw home that allowed the runner to get over to third base, too, as the throw that was got past catcher and back to the backstop.
1-0 pitch looked good, but the home plate umpire rules it missed to make it 2-0. Runner at third, a 9-4 score here. pitch, also up high and outside, so make it 3-0.
The bases were loaded with only one out, and the runner from second tried to steal third.
With a runner standing on third base, that's the key.
Right.
They decided to go ahead and walk Shea Treadway. I knew I was going to do that once this game. The intentional base on balls. Puts runners at the corners, and I think you'll see the end of the day here for Ryan Lee. Had a great fifth inning, but a disastrous sixth. And with runners at the corners and 2 down, Rams will call on the reliable left arm of Jason Lunsford, and while they do that, we're going to take this break. Newton Ram baseball, just as reliable here on WGFS, AM 1430, and we want to thank East Metro Communications for helping us bring you Newton Ram baseball this year.
Bagging lawnmowers are out and Toro Recycler lawnmowers are in. So come on down to Coast and check out our special sale prices on Toro Recycler mowers now. We've got Toro Recycler lawnmowers and riding mowers and Toro wheel horse tractors, all at special savings. With Toro Recycler mowers, you don't have to bag your clippings because Recycler mowers cut them into fine pieces to become a natural fertilizer, not thatch. So get a healthy, beautiful lawn with a Toro Recycler lawnmower, riding mower, or tractor, and get a special price right now at Coast to Coast Home and Auto in downtown Covington.
The best money manager around is a checking account from the Bank of Covington. It's easy to keep track of your income and all your expenses with your checkbook and the detailed monthly statements we send you. It lets you see where you might save money, and it really helps in balancing your budget. If you're not already enjoying such financial assistance, learn all the advantages of a personal checking account at one of the convenient Bank of Covington locations. The Bank of Covington, member FDIC.
And welcome back to cold Craig Lunsford Field. Newton Ram baseball, and the new pitcher, Jason Lunsford, here to tell you about it, Kevin Holden.
All right, thank you very much, Bill Dolan. The batter for the Griffin Bears stepping in with a first and third situation and 2 down. Jason Lunsford, the left-hander, his first pitch is outside, ball 1. Lunsford takes a look at first base, comes set, and his pitch home misses outside, ball 2. So Lunsford comes in 2 quick balls here.
And Jason looking for the call there, didn't get it. That pitch looked pretty close. Normally the umpire's been given that call, and that looked closer than some of the other calls he's made.
Runners take their leads here. Rams up by 5. 2-0 pitch swung on, grounded into the hole between first and second. That's a base hit. 1 run will score. Stopping at second is Shea Treadway. And all of a sudden the Bears, with an outburst here of 4 runs, have pulled back and made this thing a 4-run game.
Coach Joe Brassfield, standing over on the sidelines, does not appear to be overly happy. Got some more activity down in the Ram bullpen. That looks like that's Josh Henderson warming up. He, of course, up from the junior varsity right now.
Neil Davis will be the batter. Davis 0 for 3. And with 2 down, the Rams could use someone to face under that circumstance right now. First pitch inside, ball 1. Here at Craig Lunsford Field, the folks who have braved the weather to come out here, it's actually kind of odd because it's very nice. There's not a cloud anywhere in the sky, but it's freezing cold with the wind blowing the way it is. Pitch a called strike on the inside corner, making a ball and a strike. Jason Lunsford comes at you with a variety of off-speed stuff.
And even his fastball appears to be off-speed.
Davis has flied out, struck out, and grounded out. Little of each. The 1-1, the slow curve makes it 1-2. That pitch took a long time to get up there, but it was a good curveball, a lot of break on it.
It was really a beauty, and it just froze the hitter at the plate. He didn't know which way to turn.
Lefty versus lefty, you get that advantage. Stretched by Lunsford, takes a look back at second, another look back, and his 1-2 on the way home. Fastball swung on and missed. Lunsford comes at him with a high fastball, so he retires the Griffin Bears here, but not before they pick up a total of 4 runs. They do so on 4 hits, including 2 home runs. There were 2 Newton Ram errors and 2 men left on base. And it is 9-5 in favor of the Newton Rams as we head to the 7th inning right here from Craig Lunsford Field at Henry County High School, part of the South Metro Tournament for 1996. Newton Ram Baseball is brought to you in part by East Metro Communications, Covington's authorized agent for AirTouch Cellular.
Bulldog Tire Company is your complete car care center. They take off tires, wheels, have wheel alignment, tune-ups, brake service, road and farm service, radiator repair, wrecker service, and much, much more. That's Bulldog Tire Company. Talk to owner Tommy Coker at 787-6030, 787-6030. Bulldog Tire Company, 4108 Elm Street in Covington. Bulldog Tire Company.
If you're age 60 or better, Newton Federal has created benefits especially for you. Our Now Interest checking account pays current market interest on your entire checking balance, not just part of it, if you maintain a $100 balance. And we offer it to our 60-plus customers with no minimum balance requirements and no monthly maintenance fees. Talk with us today at Newton Federal Savings and Loan, FDIC insured. After all, you deserve the best.
And welcome back to Newton Ram Baseball. And not wanting to make it easy, the Rams have allowed the Bears of Griffin to creep back into the game. The score now 9-5 as we head to the top of the 7th inning. Here to tell you all about it with the play-by-play, Mr. Kevin Holden.
Wow, Bill Dolan, it's a nice, cold, windy day here, no doubt about it. And on this Saturday afternoon, in the 7th inning of this game, the Rams will send up Doyle Baker, Jarvis Johnson, and we'll see who bats in the number 1 spot. It was Bryce Avery. Ryan Lee came in for him, but Lee was lifted for Jason Lunsford, so we'll see who bats in the number 1 spot on the batting order. Griffin with 4 runs in the 6th, thanks to back-to-back homers to start the inning, and that kind of unnerved the team.
Well, that and a couple of errors by Ram defenders and a really strange base running play where they trying to steal third with third occupied and less than 2 outs, and it mesmerized me. I couldn't figure out what he was doing.
The amazing part of it is it resulted in some runs being scored for the Griffin Bears. It resulted directly in 1 run being scored. Monday is out there facing Doyle Baker. He goes into the line. His first pitch is lined down the first base line, but it will fall foul.
Doyle made a bid to send one down the right field line. Had a good idea, good intent taking that outside pitch. It landed about 5 or 6 feet foul.
Baker singled back in the 2nd inning. He was retired at third base, 5 unassisted in that inning. He led off the 4th by flying out to the center fielder. He was hit by a pitch in the 5th and was retired 1-2 at the plate. Here he takes one low for ball 1.
And it continues to get windier and cooler, and I'm glad we're not playing in the 2nd game today.
No doubt about it. Eagles Landing and Henry County are going to be in one seriously cold affair. 1-1 pitch is inside for ball 2. Jarvis Johnson on deck has had a tremendous day at the plate, going 2 for 2 with a sacrifice and a stolen base. There's a swing and a drive deep to left field. Going back on it, still back. It's going to be over the left fielder's head at the base of the wall. Baker around first, heads for second. He'll stop there. It's a stand-up double, and Doyle Baker takes advantage. And the Rams get an early base runner.
And Doyle Baker has continued to look good with the bat. He drove that ball, got it up in the wind, and one hopped off the wall out in the left field area. That particular spot in the ballpark, probably, I guess, about 320. Hard to judge exactly. The distances aren't marked. We have an approximation. But he got it up and hit it well, and he starts the inning off with a double.
And now here's Johnson, and if you want to try to pad your lead, Jarvis Johnson today is the guy you'd look to. Monday takes a look back at second. His first pitch to Johnson is a little bit outside. Jarvis singled in the 2nd inning, also singled in the 4th, and in the 5th laid down a nice suicide squeeze bunt. All hands were safe on that one. Stole second, came around to score on an error by the catcher.
Bottom of the order has done some producing for the Rams.
No doubt about it. They have reached base large majority of the times to the plate. 7, 8, and 9. Actually, all 3 have contributed significantly to it. And a pickoff play towards second base, and the pitcher Monday actually stepped towards second and had the runner Baker caught off base. Problem was that no one was around the second base bag to take the throw. Jarvis Johnson once again ready. It's lefty versus lefty here. He swings and grounds one down the first base line. Fair ball. Going toward the right field corner. Here comes Baker. He will score. And Jarvis Johnson with the base hit puts the Rams in double digits for the third time in 4 games this season, make it 10-5.
And Jarvis Johnson continues to do an outstanding job in this game hitting. He pulled that one right down the first baseline. The first baseman diving for it. It hit leather and trickled into foul territory. Doyle Baker was running on the contact, and Coach Brassfield, never the one to hold runners up, waved him home, and he scored easily. Big run, though, for the Rams, because that gives you that 5-run cushion again, so it takes more than the grand salami to tie you up.
Yeah, it gives you a little extra advantage, too, having scored the extra runs. You take Big Mo out of the corner of the Griffin Bears here.
Well, that's it, exactly. They came back with that big inning and put themselves where they thought back in the game. The Rams come right back and answer with at least one of their own, hopefully a few more.
So here in the 7th, Lunsford will be the man to bat. They throw to first base. Johnson is back in safely, so Lunsford will get his own chance to hit here. He came in and retired the last batter of the 6th inning after Ryan Lee ran into some trouble.
Once again, real close to a balk move by this pitcher, Kevin.
Monday to first base there, and the runner back in safely.
He really appears to be stepping closer to home plate than he does over towards first base on the move.
Monday comes set, takes a look. This time he goes home. He had Johnson going toward first base on his move. And the pitch is outside and high for ball 1.
Well, they say a lefty can get away with the balk a lot easier than the righty can, just because more natural going that way. So you wouldn't know anything about that, though, would you?
Oh, being a left-handed pitcher, I think I might know 1 or 2 things about it. Not to say that I was a great pickoff artist. Pitch is high. Throw going down to second base as the runner was going, and he'll be safe. So Jarvis Johnson with his 3rd stolen base of this game. But back to the pickoff thing, as you were saying before, have you ever seen Paul Ossenmacher's move to first base? One of the worst moves from a left-handed pitcher. That's who I was compared to pickoff-wise.
Oh, okay.
2 balls, no strikes to Jason Lunsford. That's why some of us became announcers and not ball players. 2-0 pitch, swung on and missed, make it 2-1.
And Jason didn't look real strong with that swing at that pitch there.
I think he was fooled by that.
Jason, of course, had the highest average on the team last year. He batted an even .500 for the season.
That's right. Tremendous batter. 1 hit and 2 trips to the plate. Or 2 at-bats. Once again, the fake towards second base. Jarvis Johnson close to the bag, though, and they couldn't get anything back there. Johnson was back before a throw could be made. 5-run lead here for the Rams. We are in the 7th. Rams hit double digits once again. Lunsford trying to bunt, pops the ball up, and is caught by the catcher. Is thrown to second in time for the double play. And Jason Lunsford, the lack of execution there, they were trying to execute a bunt play, maybe getting the runner over with some big sticks coming up, but not in this circumstance, as he popped it straight up, and the catcher made the catch in fair territory.
I don't know if you noticed it, though, the catcher there, Jay Culverson, had all day to throw the ball down there, and he rushed it, gunning it, and he almost threw it into center field.
Yeah, he was in a hurry to get that ball to second base. Here's a swing and a miss from Matt Vaughn. Vaughn came in to play shortstop in the 6th. That's here in the 7th. This is the first offering to him, making it 0-1. Monday winds. He deals. This one is popped up shallow left field. Going out is the shortstop for the Griffin Bears. He makes the catch, and Nichols puts away the Newton Rams here in the 7th. They do score a run. They do so on a couple of hits. There were no errors, no one left on base, and after 6.5 innings, last chance here for the Griffin Bears. Rams on top 10-5. It's Newton Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430. East Metro Communications has helped to bring you Newton Ram baseball on the road throughout the last several years. They have won the Agent of the Year award in the small market division for the 3rd time. So you know you've got some quality folks to deal with. Go by and see East Metro Communications.
What's the crowd favorite at parties any time of the year? Why, it's hot wings from the Hard Luck Cafe. With flavors ranging from extra mild to TNT, they can placate any palate. There are 3 convenient locations to serve you. 1 in Madison, 1 in Conyers, and the original Little Red Building in Covington. So stop by for the best hot wings around, or call ahead so your order will be ready when you get there. In Covington, the number is 787-0421. That's 787-0421.
They are baseball names that you've come to know and love. Jones, McGriff, Justice, Maddox, Glavin, Join them and the entire cast of the 1996 Atlanta Braves right here on your sports leader, WGFS AM 1430. We'll be bringing you broadcasts of the Braves throughout the 1996 season and into the playoffs. The Braves on WGFS, brought to you by the Crow's Nest, Steele Jones Insurance Agency, and Pippin's Barbecue. 1996's Braves on WGFS.
And welcome back to Rams baseball. The Rams 3 outs away from going 4-0 on the young season. And here to get you through the bottom of the 7th inning, along with Jason Lunsford, is the play-by-play man, Kevin Holden.
Well, I guess it's a pair of lefties to try to close things out. Jason Lunsford, the left-hander, will make the real difference in this one. In the bottom of the 7th, faces Craig Reynolds. We'll see who they bat in the 4th spot, and then John Dinkins. And the first pitch hits Craig Reynolds, who made absolutely no move at all and immediately goes toward first base.
I'll tell you, Kevin, he was standing almost on top of the plate, made no effort to get out of the way whatsoever. They can make that call where they do not give the base, and I believe that's an indication. That's a spot where that was justified.
And he made absolutely no move at all.
And, of course, if it's Jason Lunsford you're facing, you know it's not going to hurt too much, so.
I'm sure it didn't, and Craig Reynolds just pretty much took it, didn't do much about it, but he's at first base with no one out, so the Bears get a base runner here in the 7th. And Jay Culverson is back up there. Reynolds and Culverson were responsible for losing 2 baseballs last inning, but this time Reynolds decides to go to first without swinging the bat, and the first pitch to Culverson is high and outside for ball 1.
Jason needs just to bear down, throw some strikes, get out of this, and let us go home and get warm.
Stretch, and the 1-0 pitch on the way. There's a called strike, making it 1-1. The game really slowed down about halfway through. In the 6th inning, the Griffin Bears scored 4 after scoring a run in the 4th. The Rams scored 3 in the 4th, 4 in the 5th, another one in the 7th. There's the 1-1 pitch on the way home. It bounces a few feet in front of home plate, but Lane Floyd with a good stop gets it back in quick fashion, making it 2 balls, 1 strike. That's another advantage the Rams will have this year. They're really too deep at catcher. They've got the 2 people they can have a lot of confidence in behind the plate.
Actually, I think Lane threw the ball back harder to Jason than it came in from.
2-1 pitch is swung on and missed on the off-speed pitch outside.
Actually, I thought that was his fastball.
Perhaps.
But once again, it was location, and it was after the breaking pitch that was down low, so it was a good pitch.
Lunsford takes a look at first base where Craig Reynolds is residing right now, and the 2-2 is up high for ball 3.
The Newton fans wanted that one, and I wouldn't have argued either. It looked pretty close.
After this half inning, if the Rams can hold off the Griffin Bears, they'll go to 4-0, and they'll have a week to sit on that record. They don't play again until next Saturday. They'll be back here as part of that South Metro tournament that this game is also a part of. 3-2 pitch popped up. Right side, second baseman Brandon Smith calls and makes the catch. First out.
And Smitty's been busy out there at second. That's the second pop-up he's caught. Unfortunately, had a couple errors to go along with the plays. He came in and replaced the Rams starting second baseman Ryan Boone, who had a good day once again.
Here's John Dinkins, the DH. Big John Dinkins.
He drilled one to the deepest part of the ballpark his last at bat, bouncing it on one hop at the 389 mark in left center.
Right-handed batter facing left-handed off-speed pitcher Jason Lunsford. Here he comes in with the fastball, strike 1. Make it 0-1. Dinkins with a single and a double. He's also struck out.
This must really be a change to these hitters seeing Jason after fireballers like Luke and Ryan Lee pitching in the earlier inning.
0-1 delivery. There's a swing and a miss, and as we say, the slow pitch of Jason Lunsford has Dinkins way out in front, make it 0-2.
That's exactly how Jason looked in that fine effort he came up with Tuesday night against the Golden Eagles of Eagles Landing. I'll get that right one of these days.
That's exactly right. The 0-2 swung on and missed. And Jason Lunsford right now, the key thing that he has after that swinging strike 3, what he has here is a tremendous control. That's the important thing. He's able to spot his pitches very well.
That actually a fastball, but in a perfect location. It was about shin high. It was below the knees, but it looked so good that he had to go chasing after it. And, of course, it was in a position where he just couldn't hit it.
Well, the last thing that stands between the Rams and a 4-0 record is Carl Nichols. is hitless in this game. He takes the first pitch up high for ball one. Runner at first here for the Griffin Bears, 2 down. Lane Floyd gives the sign. Lunsford taking a look, the lefty, lines and delivers. This one a little low. 2 balls, no strikes. One more batter retired, and the Rams will have gone through this first week of the season with 4 wins. It's always nice to start off on a good note, especially with a young team like the Rams have. 2-0, there's a called strike, 2-1.
Jason, right around that strike zone, even when he hasn't thrown strikes, it's been so close.
You get these young players used to victory, then they're going to want it going into the sub-region, and I think that'll be a big help for them. Of course, that South Metro Tournament Championship is something the Rams would like as well. Got a tradition to uphold there. The 2-1 inside ball 3. Rams in 1992, 93, 94, and again in 95 won this South Metro Tournament.
So this would be one for the thumb.
That's right.
If they got rings for it.
They had rings. That'd be a tremendous expense for 4 straight years, wouldn't it?
Hopefully the 5th this year.
3-1 pitch. There's a called strike at the knees, and taking about 2 steps toward first base, it was Carl Nichols. If you'll remember, he did the exact same thing on his first at bat. Actually, he walked after doing the same thing on a 3-1 pitch.
Usually you don't want to show up that umpire, though, with somebody that throws pitches close to the plate like Jason does.
Swinging a line drive over the shortstop's head. It will bounce in front of Luke Allen for a base hit. And so Griffin's 7th hit here puts runners at first and second with 2 down, and so we'll try it once again with the last hope being Brian Burkhalter.
Luke got a good jump on the ball, but decided to play it safe and didn't come charging in and let the ball go by him. Still with the 5-run lead, you don't want to do anything dumb and give away runs. So good play by Luke Allen, just trying to keep the ball in front of him.
A balk has been called on Jason Lunsford, and it's the most unfortunate kind of balk you could possibly have. Jason was standing on the rubber, and the ball fell out of his left hand. That's a balk, though. Runners will move up a base.
And you have to call that a cold weather balk, I believe.
Oh, no doubt about it. I'm sure he is having trouble in this cold weather gripping the baseball. He goes into the line with the runners now at second and third. There's a swing and a liner into right center field, and this one is going to fall for a base hit. Luke Allen slides for a moment. That's going to allow a second run to come across, and his throw in gets by 1, 2, 3 Rams, and it is now 10-7 after the base hit by Brian Burkhalter. And if you're the Newton Rams, you can't be terribly happy with what you've seen the last couple of innings here.
And the balk ended up costing them a run there, as that 1 run would not have scored. In fact, the hitter only able to reach first base on it, not even able to move up to second, so the balk hurt the Rams there.
So with Burkhalter at first now and 2 down, they'll try to retire Matt East. He is also hitless here. And Lunsford going to go to first base, and Burkhalter gets back at the request of just about everyone on the Griffin side who was screaming for him to get back. On deck is Shea Treadway. Pitch to East is low, ball 1. Remember that Shea Treadway, a .390 hitter last year, would represent the potential tying run if East can reach base here. Lunsford, the stretch is 1-0. There's a called strike, inside corner.
This inning started out, by the way, remember, with Craig Reynolds standing there and looking like intentionally taking a hit by pitch.
1-1 pitch instead to first. And Jason Lunsford, a very good move to first. The lefty had Burkhalter fooled for just a moment, but he got back. Boyd with the sign. Here comes the stretch. 1-1 is on the way. Here it is. Swung on and grounded. It's a base hit into left field. Past the shortstop, and it bounces away from Jarvis Johnson. Luke Allen is going to take it. He's going to fire in, and sliding into second base is Matt East, and all of a sudden the wheels really coming off here. With a 10-7 score, we've got second and third and 2 out.
And the tying run now comes up to the plate.
And it's Shea Treadway. There's an advantage and a disadvantage to this. First of all, Treadway is the number 9 batter in the order. He's struggled this year. He has struck out in the 2 at-bats he's had in this game. They also intentionally walked him once after running a 3-0 count on him. Bad thing is, he hit almost 400 last year.
On that last play, I guess we have to give Jarvis Johnson an error on the play as he charged the ball and let it bounce off him, and it got away. So a single on the play and then an error allowing the runners to move up to second and third.
and the pitch swung on and bounced foul. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes here to Shea Treadway. First pitch also a strike, so an 0-2 count here to Shea Treadway. Struck out twice and intentionally walked.
Jason really has him set up now for the big, slow off-speed curveball that could trying to freeze Shea Treadway. Like to see that coming here.
Here's the wind. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Low and outside. Ball 1.
Oh, well. I guess that's why I'm here in the booth and not out there. He threw the fastball. Appeared like he really had him set for the breaking ball.
A ball, 2 strikes. Jason Lunsford looking for that one final strike. And this one has popped up right at home plate, just out in front. Lunsford is going to call everybody off, and did he make the catch? Yes, he did. The Newton Rams win it 10-7. And that one was a little closer, Bill, than I think the Rams and everybody else wanted it to be. The Rams jumped out to a nice lead, but sort of lit up the last couple of innings.
They certainly did, but the bottom line is the Rams end up with more runs on the board than the Bears do. So the Rams stay perfect in the tournament at 2-0 and perfect on the season at 4-0. Not a pretty win, but a win indeed.
It is a win nonetheless. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, 2 men left on base for the Griffin Bears. And your final score of this one, the Newton Rams 10, the Griffin Bears 7. We're going to come back and wrap things up here. We're at Craig Lunsford Field at Henry County High School in McDonough, Georgia. We'll wrap things up momentarily on WGFS AM 1430. We're brought to you by East Metro Communications, Covington's authorized agent for Air Touch Cellular.
It's a final markdown on clearance shoes at the Lady Shoe Warehouse. They have over 1,500 pairs of shoes on sale, and you can take an additional 20% off the sale price during their final liquidation. It's also a sale on ladies' handbags. They have a great selection to choose from with 25 to 50% off the price. The Ladies Shoe Warehouse also has ladies' all-weather boots on sale. The boots are a $60 value on sale for $9.99 less the 20% final markdown. This incredible sale is at the Ladies Shoe Warehouse on Salem Road at the Salem Square Shopping Center. They have over 10,000 pair of shoes in stock with the new spring styles arriving weekly. The Ladies Shoe Warehouse is open Thursdays 10 until 6, Friday 10 until 7, and Saturdays 10 until 6. That's the Ladies Shoe Warehouse on Salem Road at the Salem Square Shopping Center. The Ladies Shoe Warehouse.
Hey there, Carl the Greenskeeper here for the Hard Luck Cafe. You know me, I'm the guy who delivers hot wings to the trivia show every Saturday morning. Randy wanted me to be sure and let everyone know that the Hard Luck now has 3 locations. That's one in Conyers, one in Madison, and of course the original location in Covington. You know, that's that little red building down there where Nationwide used to be. So for the best hot wings around, stop by the Hard Luck or call ahead so your wings will be ready when you get there. I can't remember all the numbers, but in Covington it's 787-0421. That's 787-0421. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to tell them that Carl sent you.
At Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, we've got you covered with vinyl, wallpaper, carpet, wood, parquet, VCT tile, interior design service, carpet cleaning service, and blinds. They're the largest and most complete carpet store serving Newton, Rockdale, and Morgan counties, Lake Oconee, and surrounding areas. They specialize in residential and commercial flooring. Their professional carpet consultants and interior designer will bring samples to your home, take measurements, and quote you a price all in one visit. Call them, Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, 786-9245, 786-9245, or in Madison, 342-3869. 342-3869. Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies.
Attention baseball fans, the offseason has been long, brutal, and harsh, but baseball is back, and the Braves hope to defend their 1995 World Series championship right here on WGFS AM 1430. That's right, your sports leader, WGFS, will bring you live coverage of all the Braves games this year. The Braves on WGFS are brought to you in part by Jeans Hourglass, Halpert, and Little Phillies. Our own Atlanta Braves on WGFS.
And welcome back to Craig Lunsford Field as a Frozen broadcast team brings you good news. The Newton Rams came away with a 10-7 victory over the Bears of Griffin. Here with the totals and highlights, the half-frozen part of the dynamic duo, Kevin Holden.
I'm missing one hand, Bill. It's completely frozen right now. It's the hand I write with, and so our totals are a little sketchy, but here from the frozen tundra of Lunsford Field, the Newton Rams come up with 10 runs on 8 hits. The Griffin Bears committed 5 errors, and the Rams left 7 men on base. For Griffin, 7 runs on 9 hits. The Rams also committed 5 errors, and 8 men left on base for the Griffin Bears. In this particular game, Bill, the first 3 or 4 innings was a much sharper game, but later in the game there were a lot of miscues that led to a lot of runs, and game slowed down quite a bit, and another major factor, a lot of ineffective pitching later in the game.
Absolutely, and that kind of is what helped us decide our play of the game. Only one pitcher basically was effective for both teams all day, and that was Luke Allen. Luke pitched 4 very strong innings, allowing only 1 unearned run, only gave up 2 hits, walking 2 and striking out 4, also contributed on the offensive end with a double, RBI, and a walk. Honorable mention goes to Jarvis Johnson, who had a big game, but from us, the WGFS player of the game goes to Luke Allen.
And Luke came on and showed us why perhaps 1996 will be the year he comes into his own pitching-wise. As a pitcher, he looked much, much better than we've seen him in the majority of 1995. He was a good pitcher in 95. The fastball was tremendous. But what he had different this year that made him a much better pitcher, or this particular game that made him a much better pitcher, was his ability to, first of all, throw the off-speed stuff, but second of all, to keep his mechanics under control and hit the strike zone.
He did a great job and continued to mix the pitches up, and we saw him throw a lot more breaking balls than what we were used to seeing last year, and he had good control on that and really spotted the fastball well, working that outside corner consistently with the fastball, keeping the hitters off balance, and just a tremendous effort by Luke Allen. And if that's what he's got this year, the Rams have a good season to look forward to as they move to 4-0.
Well, the Rams win this one 10-7, and like I said, expected this to be a little less of an exciting game than it turned out to be at the end, but the fortunate part about it is that the Rams do come up with the win, and they move to 4-0. Next Ram action will be next Saturday. It'll be at 5:30 p.m. right here at Henry County High School at Craig Lunsford Field. And you guys can come down to McDonald, Georgia, if you'd like, and check this stuff out live. But, of course, if you can't, we'll be on live with our radio broadcast here on WGFS. Bill, you and I will be doing this thing starting at 5:30 next Saturday.
I guess we better bring the overcoats next week, Kevin.
Wow, we have a later start, and I feel kind of bad for Henry County and Eagles Landing, who's involved in this next game. They're going to be involved in a serious...
Look for the blankets and the bonfires to come out in this one, especially as that sun goes down, Eddie. Although we're not feeling any warmth from it, it's going to get cold out here.
It's March in Georgia, yet it's still like this. It's amazing to think that the first game of the year, the Rams were playing in almost 80-degree weather. And this time, not quite the case. We're going to wrap things up here from Henry County High School. We thank you for being with us for our broadcast of Newton Ram Baseball. We'll be back with you for more Ram Baseball in 7 days. But in the meanwhile, for our executive producer, Todd Q. Chapman, and for Bill Dolan, Kevin Holden reporting from Craig Lunsford Field. One final time, our happy news here, the Rams 10, the Griffin Bears 7. So long, everybody.